Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to
And we're live,
Thursdays.
everybody.
There we go. My audio is screwing
Welcome
up
to
again.
Theta Thursday. We have 50 people watching this show, as amazing as it sounds, on Thanksgiving
Already
night.
more
Actually,
than I
live
thought. Thanksgiving
right
night,
now, like,
they should all be having dinner.
apparently we
So
are.
Everybody's looking
hike.
for fun. Like I said, Mifune can't figure out
Look,
OBS.
Mifune can't
no,
figure out
my OBS
no,
is.
he is.
But
pinging
excuse him, he's
correctly.
drunk.
No, shush. My OBS is at 75%
Thanksgiving.
CPU usage.
So,
Are you guys open on Thanksgiving? Does anybody come to
I don't know if
Thanksgiving at
Wendy's
Wendy's?
is open.
Do you guys
No,
do
Wendy's-
like turkey or something?
Wendy's is not actually open on Thanksgiving. Believe it or not.
I'm sure you can get like
Is
I don't
Mifune
think
trying
so.
to talk?
a Wendy's
Yeah.
chicken sandwich, but with
There
turkey
you
instead
It
of
works.
chicken.
Brisk's thing works.
Okay, it's
Jack.
it's Brisk's video that's literally spiking my CPU up to like over 100% usage and
Wow.
taking out my audio.
Can't handle how hot I am.
I'm sorry.
So it's
The
screwing your computer up.
the i7 7700K from Intel cannot handle how hot Brisk is. Apparently.
Might as well
That
put a
wasn't
There you
turkey
go.
on it.
Brisk.
There
It
you
was
go.
Fountain Frank. It's not Brisk
Or,
anyway.
or
I
found
don't even
Frank.
have.
That's
I don't
fine.
even know if I have a picture of. Actually, I'll have to get you a picture of Brisk that you can put up. Since I'm like sitting here in game anyway. So.
Yeah, but anyway, that was a rough start. But hello, everybody.
Fine. Welcome to Theta Thursday, Thanksgiving edition. Clearly, to celebrate Thanksgiving, right? We have Theta's giving, sure. We have a few regulars here, and we've got some special guests hanging out with us. And Mifune, can you grab Shura real quick? And we have a birthday boy here. Hopefully, he'll figure out how to talk at some point.
Happy birthday, Mike.
No, not Mike.
It's Mike's
It's
birthday.
not Mike's blood. It's not Mike's
It's
blood.
always Mike's birthday.
Shura,
It's always
try and
Mike Flood's
talk, see if
birthday.
it'll work for you. You might have a push to talk. If you need you might have to use the cogwheel to fix
So,
your settings. We'll
if
see if
you
Shura gets to
join-
join us today.
If you join the other channel first, it will be push to talk. And
There,
then
Mifune. He gave you a picture of
we'll
Brisk.
have to fix it.
There you go. Now you have a picture of me. Hopefully that won't destroy your.
We're gonna have like just a folder of just Brisk options
Look,
at some
I-
point.
There's nothing wrong
already-
with that. I mean, you guys should have that already. I mean, I'm just saying.
Jesus.
There we
There you
go. So Shura is here today as well, just as a birthday boy to kind of like hang out with us and chit chat. We've had a lot of stuff happen this week.
But
You were
has there
literally
really,
saying in the pre-show.
but
that
has there
you were
really
wondering
been a lot of
what's
things
going on?
No, like if you think about it, there has been like a lot of like little stuff. The big announcement that like happened right after Push to Talk on Saturday was the Gobbins announcement. Which I know, Brisk, you guys got to kind of talk about it in the middle of the show on Saturday, but now that we've had some time to process it and talk about it, at least on our own, what are we all thinking about that? Because from what I read it sounded like that Horde, like it's left things open, but it sounds like Horde is looking for an out.
I just think it's funny that our economy now is in shambles, and they've achieved their objective.
Our economy's in
Right.
shambles.
I was
Isn't that
gonna
what
say,
that
are we like, are we poor or something?
I mean,
Like,
we're not based out of our major market hub anymore. So I mean, in that sort of sense, our economy is a bit kind of weird. But other than that, I don't know. I think it's okay.
we're fine.
I don't
mean,
think
honestly-
is anybody struggling to buy things that they want? I think is.
I have had no
the first
issues.
question.
No.
I've had no problems. And anything I put up on the market in 1DQ sells relatively quickly. So, as far as I can tell, there hasn't been any issues there. But I mean, look,
Apparently-
as far as I'm concerned with the Gobbins announcement, it sounds to me like they are okay. Let's glass 1DQ, and once we've done that, we can leave. So that would be great because hey, you know what? If that's it, yeah, let them have it. We'll put it back in as soon as they're gone, and we'll go kill test. It'll be fine.
So wasn't
Like,
it?
I found out apparently Tuesday I'm not considered average line member. I only have 3 active
Are you
like
below
money making
average?
features. Apparently I'm way above average.
Oh, okay. All
Really?
right. Just
Yeah,
ask.
they did a Twitch poll of non-Imperium members, obviously, to ask about
What if it's
what their
non-Imperium?
fallout
That doesn't
was.
count.
How
I
could
know,
they
that's what I
tell
was like.
if those people participating were non-Imperium?
They well, because it was Trash Talk Tuesday.
You
Most
can't listen to them.
I
Those
was
people
on Trash
think,
Talk Tuesday. Like,
darn
I'm
it, people
Imperium
think I
member.
run in it. It's a joke. You can't listen to those.
I
Non-Imperium
was just
people don't know anything.
laughing. I was just like, you guys are being ridiculous. If you've had, 3 years in the platinum era of Delve, you should have a couple billion to your name. The people who don't have money either aren't trying or they
Right.
just came back.
If you don't have money, there's a Plex sale for Black Friday. There you go.
Ah,
No,
yeah.
Get some
Brisk,
money.
beat him. Somebody
Get some
beat
money.
him with a big
There you
stick.
go. Why
I
not?
only started doing industry and reactions and stuff after the start of this war, and I've already made like 50 bill, and I've got like
Yeah.
so much shit lying around.
So like I've been talking about buying like 10,000 Plex for like a little while now, and like now that they have a sale, like I think I might actually pull the trigger on it, and just go.
How many dollars is that?
I don't
It's
know,
like
it's probably
500.
like $500, something like that.
I buy the $500 one every month or two
Jesus,
Damn.
Brisk.
and sell it off.
Do you just not
Baller.
like
But
don't
man, like
PvE?
I just got my paycheck
I
for
don't
like
want to
$400,
rat.
so maybe I'm just gonna blow my whole paycheck on
Well,
Eve and just give up on bills.
Speaking of
I don't wanna rat.
ratting,
I don't want to do any kind of mining. I want to just be able to do what I want.
speaking of ratting, now I can't watch my Netflix while sitting in my Myrmidon.
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
now
God
you
forbid you have to press F a few times.
Oh
Sorry.
god.
Are you really a
Oh,
single
God.
monitor scrub?
No, I'm not a single monitor
gonna be a
scrub,
no
but I
monitor
can't.
scrub,
I can't sit here and click my Myrmidon and be like, all right, and then just look over here and wait for 20 minutes. Now I gotta do both.
You gotta press F occasionally, poor you.
Yes.
Now let's backtrack here. Shura has not been on for a few days and doesn't read Reddit. So like I keep it drives me nuts, but I kind of have to do the play-by-play at least 6 times in Theta every week to everybody because they refuse to read Reddit. But
This
Shura,
is why I love you.
Why would
I
you ask
know.
them to read Reddit? What sort of
Because
slave
they
driver
need to
are
know
you?
things. They have to
but
know
like,
things.
if
Like
I,
some of us get these things from the official announcement store.
Don,
Like,
if
Jesus.
I wanted more toxicity in my life, I would get back together with my narcissistic ex. That's why I stay
Oh.
on Reddit.
So Shura, they're changing it. Coming up, the next patch is now drones will not auto aggro NPCs ever.
Ever.
They'll aggro players shooting you and things like that. But if you set your drones out on your Myrmidon to rat or your dummy, you're gonna have to tell it to shoot things.
Don't
So that's
you
a big change.
already
It's
have
such
to
an
do that, or
insignificant
No.
change.
do people really just like let their drones out and just like go AFK and set them on like hostile?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we did for what 5 ever since we moved into Delve. We started doing that.
No. Right. People have been doing that for a hell of a lot longer than that, Mifune.
Well. I only started doing it when I moved into Delve. So
That was when he was born.
I definitely did not
I
invent
must be
it.
in the minority then, because whenever I rat, I like actually sit there and I'm like, okay, attack that, and then I'll like look away for like a minute and then come back and be like, okay, attack that.
See, I've always been the one to sit there and watch, but that's because like with mining, with certain people always living around you 24/7, you always have to be really watchful for your drones or your ship getting attacked. So I'm in the habit of just sitting there watching my characters all the time. But I know some people, some directors in the Imperium who made their money by like setting 12 like VNI alts out there and just were like, hope for the best, guys.
I just
But
honestly, my biggest issue with this, and what I told CCP was, this is like the straw that is going to break the camel's back, because we've seen a steady diet of nerfs over the last 6 or 7 months, and everybody's so fucking tired of it that now they're doing this. And frankly, they should have done this from the beginning. If they had not gotten us used to AFKing this shit for like the last 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, then nobody would care. But the fact that we're all used to it and now they're changing it up this far later with no benefits, no bonuses, no increases, no changes that would make it a little bit more, rewarding to do this work. It's just a punch in the dick. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of the whole thing, but I feel like I'm hoping that they'll listen to us and be like, okay, well, yes, we just nerfed them again, so maybe we should give them something else.
That would be horrible. What Shirara just said, if they remove auto repeat on guns and you just have to sit there and be like, F1,
Oh god.
F1.
I mean,
An
right?
issue with
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
would be the fact that guns still cycle a little bit after the cycle, while the ticker registers that they've stopped cycling, so you have to wait a while to recycle it.
Oh god.
Yes,
you
no,
lord.
that's
Mine's
my
great.
that's my biggest hate in like a tie-dye fight is like FC calls us to shoot something, so I hit F1 and it shoots them with like one bullet or one gun, whatever, and next thing you know the target dies, and then after the target dies I gotta wait for the red cycle in tie-dye to finish, and FC's already called like 4 more targets. It's like I can't shoot. Why?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. Like, you're always going to have to cycle after you fire, but I'm talking about when it extends past the cycle.
Oh,
yeah,
you
if
mean
you've
when it
ever
flashes?
if you've ever actually watched as the green bar goes around the circle, it always goes past the restart point before it decycles fully,
Correct.
because the server has to recognize it. And so, yeah, you're waiting for the next server tick before the gun actually decycles. So it's just kind of it just adds more time buffer to shooting people. But anyway,
Yeah.
I just want to ask Brisk if he thinks that we've had nerfs without any positives. What does he consider to be what's his opinion on the recent torpedo changes?
I mean but that's not a nerf to income. I'm talking about income stuff. Like this is a way to generate income, and they're basically taking away the ability to AFK rat. Okay, I'm not complaining. It should have been done years ago. My biggest issue is that they have steadily dumped on all of the different ways to make ISK in the game. For the most part, they haven't touched missions yet. They haven't touched a lot of the wormhole stuff. I think that, I expect that will come. I don't have any inside information on whether they're coming or not. If I could, I couldn't tell you anyway. But I expect at some point everything is going to get touched, because that's what their plan is. But the torpedo stuff, that's fun. That's good balance stuff. I like that. The Haw Phoenix changes,
Okay.
that's great. But that doesn't have
okay,
anything to do with
I'm-
income generation.
I'm gun illiterate. Everyone knows this in Imperium. I don't
You're
know
what?
anything about gun. Gun illiterate. So, can someone please, for the dummy and me, explain like what came out? No, I don't need numbers. Just what was really good about it, and what's like anything bad about it.
They made the torpedo damage apply better, and it applies faster, which is the two biggest issues that everybody has with torpedo damage on the big guns. That's why nobody uses Leviathans. That's why nobody tends to use Phoenixes outside of the random Haw Phoenix. But they fixed that, so that's good. We like that.
Yeah.
That's a
Now
good change.
that's for the Phoenixes. Now, what about torpedo bombers?
The bombers, they had to reduce stuff that way that it wasn't overpowering. I mean, what is already arguably an overpowered platform. I mean, the amount of DPS you can shit out in a bomber is insane compared to the cost.
Now I'm
So-
not.
So, are the bombers staying the same, or are they going down?
They got nerfed a little bit, but the result will be that they're about the same as what they were before. That was the intent of the way that they were nerfed.
As far as I can read, and my math is probably way off because I suck at math, and everyone in Theta knows that I suck at math. But if my math was correct, a polarized bomber will go from 2,200 something DPS per torpedo volley to like 1,600.
Per volley
that's-
is meaningless.
Yeah, it's not a huge
It's
impact.
yeah, it's not terribly huge, but it's better than what it was. So, right direction.
Right. So on the first of all, on the drone thing, I know a lot of people are angry about it. I think, like I said, my biggest issue was not that they did it, but that when they did it, if they had waited a little bit, if they had announced it with a
What if they
increase
snuck
to
it in on
ratting or
something
something.
else?
Well, if they stuck it in on something that was good, that we all wanted, that would help income generation, that would be one thing. But just doing it randomly outside of that, it feels like another punch to the gut. Now, that being said, is it going to stop bots? I think what it will do is it'll make it a lot easier to tell the difference between a bot and a real player, because the way the bots work, you have somebody that's sitting in a VNI for 17 hours a day. That's going to be harder to do as a player. So it's going to be more obvious that it's a bot. Whereas before, a player could actually do it. You sit there, you watch a bunch of shows. You binge The Boys for a day, and there you go. There's your ratting. But it's going to be more obvious who's a bot and who's not, which I think is a good thing. But in terms of the whole, they want you to credit card stuff. This is the thing I hope that everybody understands. The reduction in ISK and the reduction in the amount of income that's generated is not going to mean more people are going to swipe their credit cards, because what it means is that the price of Plex is going to go down. 2.8 million of Plex is not sustainable if nobody has that kind of ISK. So at
Yeah,
some
you ain't got
point,
cash.
if there's no ISK
Fine.
coming in, if nobody can afford it, then it's going to have to drop in price to the point where people can't afford it. So for those of you who Plex your accounts, this is probably not a bad thing for you, because it's going to mean that you're going to have to spend less ISK in order to do that. That being said, you're going to generate less ISK in order to do that. So it's not going to provide any incentive for anybody swiping their credit cards, at least not in the long term. Maybe in the short term it will. Maybe more people will decide that they don't want to deal with ratting like I did 2 years ago and said, fuck it, sold my Nix. I have a Nix now for the mothership changes, but got rid of my
red line. You're
and went and did
sleeping.
that. So there
Go
you go.
back to sleep.
Wait, Redline's here?
Yeah.
I'm not
He's in
not
the
defending
chat.
CCP. I am trying to tell people, like, there's nothing that annoys me more than when I hear the whole like, oh, this is just a way for them to make more money. They're not going to make any more money. It's not
Well,
how
I mean,
it works.
a good
Inflation
business
is the
plan
thing.
is to make more money, typically, right?
You want to make
So-
more money, and I don't have a problem with them making. We want them to make money. We want them to keep the game going. I don't have a problem with that. I don't want them doing anything really shitty that's designed specifically to make us spend more money. But the idea of nerfing income in the game is not going to mean that people are going to suddenly buy more Plex, because Plex is not going to be worth as much as it was before. So there you go. In the end, it's going that shit will even out. What it will do is it may get people to say, well, fuck it. If I can't do what I've been doing for a while, I don't want to adapt, so I'm just not going to play anymore. That's my big concern. That being said, the EVE player base tends to be very resilient, and they nerf the shit out of us, and we still keep playing. So
The word you're looking for is masochistic, Brisk.
We're
correct.
very mad.
That is correct. The only thing that they've done recently that has really seen drops in players logging in was Blackout. Other than that, everything else they've done, people say they're going to quit. Oh, there were quality changes. I'm not playing anymore. Didn't happen. So in the end, that's it.
So back to the original topic before we got sidetracked. So is the Gobbins thing, because I'm really wondering if P-Horde's getting tired. Is it kind of like the turkey incident that Redline let me know about, that he ate like 20 pounds of turkey? Do you think killing like 2.5 regions worth of buildings is finally too much for them and they just want to go home?
So I think I'm gonna steal. I believe it was Brisk that said it during the meta show, that in this war, Horde is in the quite literal best position they could possibly be in within EVE Online, because they have the choice where if they pull out of the war, they're not gonna have any resistance against them, right? Like no one's gonna come fight them in their space. So if they really wanted to, they could just go home, start crabbing and do whatever they do now to make money, since we can't, really crab anymore. But like they'd go home, do whatever, right? Or they could stay here and get a little bit of content out of Goonswarm. And that's that decision that Gobbins is making, is that he's saying, oh, we're gonna glass 1DQ and then we're just gonna dip out because we're starting to get bored. That's my understanding of what he said.
Look, if you guys are banking on Horde players getting bored with killing structures, I think that's probably not something to bank on. But at the same time, like I said, and you're right, Mifune, at the end of the day, this is not anything that Horde should not be unhappy. They win no matter what. If the Goons win the war, they win because Test is weakened. And if Goons lose the war, then they win because Goons are weakened. So regardless of what happens, PanFam's fine. They're okay. The Test guys should be scared because whoever wins this war is not going to get away without being, hurt, and they're going to be the next target.
Mifune, can you drag Shura?
Yep.
And then Brisk, I have asked Philly that, and I don't know if you've heard her. I've asked Philly that 2 times now, if they were comfortable with the fact that Test is going to die next. 100%. It doesn't matter whether it's by a PanFam or us. One of us will kill Test because Test will be the weakest. Like, even if we go to low second, we got nothing left. All our ships are blown up. We have nothing. What else can they take from us? Nothing. Who's next to shoot on the board? What other alliance is big enough to keep them entertained?
OASA. Frat.
No, they're broskies right now, remember?
I know, they're broskies for now, but Test is just like, if we lose, okay, what's gonna happen? Horde's gonna want to shoot something again and go shoot Test. Fraternity already hates Test enough as it is. Right before this war, they just got out of a huge grudge fest with Fraternity. So I don't doubt that after Goons, I'm going to say this in air quotes, Goons get removed from EVE Online, I don't doubt that Fraternity will just flip over and start killing Test again.
Yeah, so I still don't understand the move unless Billy's gonna leave after this and doesn't care that he got his moment and he's done. So I will say though, I'm having the most fun of my life right now. Literally, I spent 5 hours yesterday from off work, done with our whatever fleets we were doing that day, to till I went to bed. I sat in T5Z with all of the cool people, and we were just hanging out, murdering everything left and right. And it was Boat was out there reffing every structure in their stager, and they would not fight him. We had to beg them to have Bunny come out and bring a fight out to get anything out of them. I don't know what their plan is, but I don't know why they think they can handle the aggression from Delve if they can't handle us already just hanging out next door when we're actively trying to defend something.
See, I would love to play EVE, if only my EVE client wasn't broken.
Oh look, Mifune still can't computer.
Yes, I know, right?
Computer's not fucked up.
Brisk, I sat with CCP support, which blessings to them for dealing with the incredible amount of troubleshooting bullshit that I've gone through in the past 3 days. But they have not been able to solve my issue whatsoever. My parents, who both work in IT, have absolutely no clue what's causing my issue. So the fun part here
Can they buy you a new computer so you don't have an issue anymore?
No, I'm just gonna re-image and reinstall Windows.
Why don't you just get a new computer? It's Christmas.
Because
ask Santa.
I just replaced this machine. I bought a new graphics card, new CPU. I just got those new monitors. Plus, I'm moving after Christmas. So what's the point? My parents are paying for the moving truck and shit. So I'm not getting a new PC.
That's because they want to get you the fuck out of their house. That's all.
Yeah, if you think
that was a
Mifune's,
favor to them.
if you think Mifune's tech support skills are subpar, wait till January when he may not be available to like do this.
And then I gotta
And
teach
I'm gonna
Don
have
how
to
to
do
do all
it.
this.
So I don't even know if my computer
Um,
can do it. So we'll see if I get some backup tech support somewhere.
I can
Riot
get
was
my
talking
hands
about.
if I can get my hands on a Kahuna switcher, I'll do it because I kind of used to do that for a living.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna to shy away from it. So
No, I'm not. I'm not shying away from it. Even though I'll be staying at my in my friend's room for like the entire month of January, I'll do Theta Thursdays from my phone.
Hazitude, I do not have the patience to be Mifune's life coach.
Oh God, no,
No.
no,
I
Just
don't
Anyone
anybody?
who
no one has the patience for that.
Zero patience.
Yeah, I try to tell him what to do already, and it drives me nuts. But I still care. Sure, you're keen up, by the way. I don't know if you're trying to or not, but
Red lines flipping sides confirmed. What?
We wouldn't have him
No,
back.
they
Whoa,
were-
whoa, whoa.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, whoa.
Also,
No,
by the way,
it's
I
from
was
chat
not checking
earlier.
my.
Love you, Redline.
All right,
It's
we're going to
from
go
chat
into
earlier.
combat, so I'll be back in a little bit. I'll see you guys in a
Okay,
little bit.
Brisk.
Have fun, Brisk.
For the record, I was literally not keying up when you said that, so I don't know.
The thing was open, so I don't know. Sometimes it gets stuck open. Ugh. So Dirk, you were in the tournament this weekend, and last weekend, right? Or this past
Just
weekend,
last
the weekend before?
weekend.
Okay.
Well, just the
I
weekend
watched-
before, because we got knocked out early. But
I
yeah,
watched 2 matches, and that was it. So
that's because you're just, vaguely disappointing.
Hey,
Dawn,
I didn't even
sorry.
know what was going on until like Eric was like, "Hey, let's watch the matches." I'm like, what? Who? Dirk's on it. Oh, okay, yeah, let's watch it. And then we lost, and then it had lost, and I was like, all right, well, back to what we're doing.
But yeah, it was a ton of fun. Tournaments are always good fun.
Now I know Tuesday they had like a long thing with like the winner about like how long they practiced and things like that.
Oh yeah, like we actually I think it was yesterday, in the on the EventT server, because the EventT guys organized it. Within the captain's channel, people were actually figuring out, roughly what sort of hours and how many practices and stuff, and some teams were pushing 50 practices in 14 weeks. And these are practices that are 2.5, 3 hours long for a team.
Yeah, I heard that. I was like, ew.
And then you've got the theory crafters and stuff who put in a bunch of extra hours, and like basically any team in a tournament of that kind of scale and on that level is probably quite easily putting in more than 500 hours worth of prep before actually fighting in the tournament. Some teams are probably getting closer to 1,000, and it's just it's really interesting because a lot of that content isn't actually on Tranquility. You're talking about the Singularity test server, you're talking
But
about
it's like-
the Thunderdome tournament server, and very little of it actually happens on Tranquility, but it's still so much fun for basically everyone involved.
We just killed Barry Foldar, Brave Tackle,
Who's
Hero
that?
Tackle in the Venture. Just saying. So
Rip,
Oh,
Brave,
yeah.
Hero
Yeah.
Tackle.
for Barry.
You killed
I'm
Barry.
going back to fighting now. We killed Barry. All right, back to
Jay's
fighting.
like picked him up as his pet. Not supposed to kill Barry,
Brisk's just bullying people, but whatever.
clearly.
When does Brisk not bully people in Eve?
I know, right? I mean, look at that jawline. That's like the douchiest jawline you can have in this game.
Tell me he does not look like young Arnold Schwarzenegger, like before Terminator.
I don't know.
I mean,
He's kind of
Terminator, he was
graying. Brisk's kind of graying in that picture, so
It's funny.
No,
Brisk
it's
actually knows
over.
my uncle in real life.
Yeah, they you were telling us about that Theta a couple times. From what, Dateline or something like that, or 60 Minutes?
Well, so when I worked for NBC, did a thing with Rachel Maddow, and Brisk was on Rachel Maddow. This was back in like 2014, 2015, something around there. And like when I joined Goons and like watched the Meta Show or something, I was like, that guy looks hella familiar. So I like messaged him and I was like, were you on Rachel Maddow a couple of years ago? And he was like, yeah. I was like, okay, it all makes sense.
Super
But no,
futuristic.
so like when Brisk was climbing the ladder for fuck, I can't, like, what does he do again? Lobbyists. My uncle was in Congress, so he knows my uncle from Congress.
I
Well,
feel
just
like
look at you with all your connections.
now is a good time
right?
for a shameless plug if anyone needs T2 anti-cap auto cannons. I've got an smart thread.
This is, you don't get to use Theta Thursday as your own personal shopping network.
Yeah, I do.
Hey, I mean, we've got to have adverts somewhere to pay for
Is
this
that like
shit,
a
right?
commercial? Is it like our commercial break?
This is the commercial break that goes immediately to the Buying Mifune a Titan fund. Thank you very much.
Actually, the buying dogs a Titan fund.
Nobody trusts you with a Titan, Mifune.
Yes, his computer wouldn't handle the Titan.
You're not
Although
wrong. I click a boson and like it would kill my PC. DC.
I will say, I actually do need you guys to buy his gun so that way he can buy my Titan. Finally, I've been holding on to it for 5 months, waiting for him to have money to buy it.
Sounds
So,
Docs is a
idea.
Diplo, okay? Docs can't have money. It's against the code.
and by not have money, mean not have more
Would,
than
would you take it,
50 mil.
Don? Would you take it in trade, like if he gave you all those guns?
No, I want cold hard cash.
If I gave her like the pile of T1 and T2 guns and components and minerals that I've got right now, she'd just look at it and be like, "What the fuck is this? What am I supposed to
What
do?"
am I
with
gonna do with that? Buy orders. Just start selling things straight
He'd
to
give
the
you like
market.
400 billion isk and like fucking minerals
Stuff.
and shit, and you'd just be
And I
like,
would
what
sell
is
for, like,
this? I don't want that.
Exactly. I am not a market person.
Dumpster buys and get 60 instead.
Yeah, like I'm not a market person at all. That's why, like, I've done like the most basic thing to make money in Eve, which was I made most of my money mining Mercoxid and just like networking with all the Rorquals to be like, hey, can I have some boost? Can I use your compression array real quick to open up the flea hanger? Just enough space for me to put this in there. And that's how I made almost all my money for 3 years.
Minus that one generous Twitch donation
Which was fantastic. That helped a lot.
that I didn't get any piece of.
I'm sorry, you weren't adorable enough. We've talked about this.
Yeah, I'm
I
still
ain't-
waiting for
I
some
ain't
random
fucking
viewer
adore
to send
Don.
me 25 bill.
Details. When you sit on a cast for 9 hours talking about watching a Keepstar slowly die to the never-ending bodies of ravens, then I'm sure someone will give you some money.
So
I did that. I didn't get any money.
I got a.
I'm cute AF now. I shaved my head. I fucking exfoliated. Come on.
That was no shave November still.
You should get DeClorian to buy you a Titan.
During one of those Keepstar fights, I got a PM over the Twitch whispers, and the guy was like, "Hi, I see you're an Eve streamer. I'm new to Eve and I could really use some ISK." And he gives his character name, and he's like, "Would you mind helping out a poor new player?" So I'm like, "All right, this is like 99% scam." But let me just look into it anyway in case he really is a new person.
10-year-old character?
Yeah, I looked at the character and it's like created in 2011, and I'm like, yeah, you're not new, pal.
Just
That's
toss him like 20 mil.
To that
I sent him one ISK.
to that No Shave November thing, that only goes for beards as far as I can remember, and I have not touched my beard, so
That's
we're
not
good.
true, but it
Shut
doesn't
up,
really
docs.
matter either.
Speaking of,
My beard is
what am I
nowhere
going
near
to
as
say?
majestic as Greg's.
Yeah, Greg is probably the winner of the Theta contest for beard. His beard is almost long enough to touch his belly button.
Who?
Greg, haza.
Oh, Greg's beard? I tell Greg every time I see his beard, I'm like, Greg, you gotta wash that beard, man.
No, it's the
He
flavor
does.
saver.
He exfoliates. Red line. Stop giving away OPSEC stuff. You know that's not allowed. You'd think after being in Imperium he would know what not to share. It's very rude.
I mean, he's gonna share anyway because he's Redline. He wants to get a reaction. He's like that kid in the playground where if you just kind of ignore him, he'll go away.
Yeah. You
God,
mean an
don't be a
attention
bully,
whore?
Mifune.
I'm a bully Redline all I want.
No, you're not allowed. Go sit in the naughty corner.
Redline was there the other day, but we were in T5Z for a good hour and a half in Serbs, and there was a jackdaw fleet just flying around, and we were like, "Are you guys going to come fight us?" No, they just ended up docking.
Oh, there was a jackdaw fleet yesterday, way late in the evening, that was trying to fight Altarari Phoenix's jackdaw fleet. So, and his jackdaw fleet was, I think, smaller, but it was adorable. Is like Altarari would kind of get in position, and then the jackdaw FC would just like warp in, and they would just sit there. So we killed their FC 4 times with our little ganking ships because we would just warp at 0 to them and murder them. And our ships are so cheap, it didn't matter even if we all died.
I'm more going after the part where you guys are now staging in T5 and you could have reshipped to something to kill us, but no, you just decided to dock and run away.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. Like, I'm really surprised. Like, as soon as anything from Imperium goes through, they just don't do anything.
So the last fleet that I was able to go on before my Eve went to shit, it was an Asher fleet full of Feroxes, and basically, we were going to shoot a Satoyo in T5, and when we got there, I guess they were looking for targets of opportunity. I don't know. There were a lot of things going on that night, but we eventually killed a AFK carrier and then a second AFK DC person. And the funny thing is that the entire time, Asher is warping around the Ferox fleet as if we were in Windrunners, and I was like, taking Feroxes and acting like they're tornadoes. It's genius. It's awesome. And we had so much fun on that fleet. And then eventually, we were not able to. I believe the hostiles formed up like when we had 10% left on the Satoyo, I think. And we just started brawling it out. And I can't even remember who came up on top because I was primaried off the grid, like third person dead. So I have no clue whether we came out on top or that, because after that night my Eve broke.
Oh, you mean the giant? Yeah, it was like 4 fleets versus 1.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's the one.
I don't think I was. I think I was doing D&D. I was a druid turning into a giant dragon, so I was having a blast. Didn't matter what was happening. I had a great time. I guess actually that's an honest question. Have you guys played RPGs or role playing, tabletop games?
Yes,
Like
Not in a
WoW?
while, but yeah.
Which one?
I
mostly.
Yeah,
Which
like
one?
it was Shadowrun for me.
Oh, did you guys actually know how to play Shadowrun? Because we tried and it was.
We had a pretty good GM. but
We didn't.
it's been a long time since I touched anything tabletop like that. Like 4 or 5 years, probably.
Oh, I was just gonna say, COVID, but I guess not.
Yeah, no, I moved away to uni and just never found a group down here.
We play online now.
So I've actually thought about getting into Warhammer 40k, but I never actually got into it.
Don, I did
Is it
tell
good?
you about Divinity Original Sin 2.
No,
Mifune, Warhammer 40k is good, but don't
If you
get
have a shit
into
ton
it
of money.
because you will never have a wallet ever again.
No.
Is it
it's like
microtransactions or?
No, it's not microtransactions. It's just
it's
you've got to buy all
macrotransactions.
the fucking
you have to buy
figures,
this.
and
You
they're
have to
really
buy the
expensive.
squads. You have to buy enough squads to actually put together an army. You need to paint the squads, and you need to paint the units. And fuck that. Now, the closest I ever came to 40k was I know all about the lore, and I played Dawn of War up until 2. But as far as the tabletop, now you missed me with that.
Yeah, I played I played tabletop 40k, but I was using other people's stuff, which is the best way to do it, really.
Yeah, have other people for the bill for you.
So it's like my heart goes out to the people who can sit there and spend the hundreds of thousands of dollars to put together an entire army, including the line units all the way up to the commanders, to the vehicles, to the special units, whatever. But well, like Doc just said, if you get into 40k, you will just be chronically broke forever.
Like
Look,
Kyra.
I'm chronically broke enough as it is.
That's why
what
we're
I
like,
mean.
you can't
should
play
just
it.
not get into it.
I didn't want to say that, but it's like, bro, if you're already broke, then you
And good luck.
just don't even
Yeah,
bother.
gotcha.
Just play if you care about 40k as a franchise, and play Dawn of War or Space Marine. But as far as the tabletop, nah.
Just don't play Soulstorm. It's really bad.
Or the third one. Apparently, Dawn of War 3 was trash.
Since it is a holiday, I did want to get to this at some point tonight. What holiday traditions do you guys have around Eve? We'll just stick with Eve specific, because I don't know if everybody that's not in the Imperium does this or knows about this, but we have a Secret Santa every year.
We have a fair
And,
few of them in various places.
I'm usually in 4 every
Are we
year.
having a CD Secret Santa?
I've only seen the one so
We've
far.
never done that before, actually, Docs.
Like 3 of you to play to do it. Secret Santa's a big thing. Holiday rooms are another big thing. I'll hopefully be putting out the Theta Secret Santa at some point. I just don't really know how to do it, so we'll figure it out. Have you guys gotten any good gifts or anything like that? Like, what has been your best Secret Santa moment? Because I know all of you have gone through a Secret Santa at least once, right?
Yeah.
Negative. Actually, no, I take
Sure.
that back. I was there. What?
The only Secret Santa that I've actually participated in, I gave someone a skin for their super that was quite a nice skin, and I got a fitted Nurgle that was quite good.
I did not get anything for Secret Santa.
Did you sign up or you
So-
just not sign up?
Are we talking Eve Secret Santa, or are we just talking Secret Santas in general? All right, so my old Corp CEO, long time ago, my long ago Corp CEO, before I was in Goon proper, at random times, right, at random Friday nights, he would get totally wasted while playing Eve, as many people do, and he would do random giveaways in our corp chat to our corp mates, and he would basically go to his daughter and say pick a number between 1 and 100, and everyone in corp would put their guesses, and whoever was the closest to what number his daughter picked won a random prize. And most of the time he would just give away a dread or like screwing around with faction frigates, something stupid, right? So during one of these things, I was dead on to his daughter's number, and the gift was supposed to be a faction fitted Naglfar. And so I never got it because he woke up the next morning. No. So he wakes up the next morning
He's sobered up.
completely blacked out from the previous night. And I go, "Hey, where's my faction, dread?" And he goes, "What faction dread?" I said, "The one that you promised to give me from the giveaway last night." And he goes, I don't remember doing that. I think you're lying to me." And I'm like,
screenshot of that shit. I would have screenshotted
like,
that shit.
no, we were over voice comms, and I was like, no, you promised while you were wasted last night. And so for
Just like 13-year-old Mifune, like, but you promised.
Promise, please.
so next thing you know, the Secret Santa that year, I eventually, thankfully, finally got my faction fitted dread. And that was a dread that I whelped and lost in a blazing glory of fireball the next summer.
The blazing glory of
Fireball, yes.
I was impressed with the way he used words there, Docs, too.
So I went on a
Couple.
roam. I went on a roam in Theta during blackout and lost that dread. Thankfully.
Remember that.
Yeah, but that's probably the best Secret Santa gift I ever got, because after that week of like that giveaway, I was like, I'm never gonna get this. And then 3 weeks down the line, it's Secret Santa, and I just have it happen, and I'm like, oh my god, he actually remembered.
Can somebody get Mifune a new computer for Secret Santa?
Yeah.
No, just get me a new motherboard and a CPU. I've already replaced every part. The only parts that are old is the 5-year-old motherboard and the 4-year-old CPU.
We
also
reckon
one other
it's
thing I wanted
just
to ask.
your
Like-
entire machine. It's fucked.
There's
Yes.
one thing I asked earlier, but I don't know if you heard me. Like, okay, I'm not going to pretend to know something that several other people don't, especially if you've actually spoken with tech support and both of your parents work in IT. But what exactly is so wrong that so few people, that no one can figure it out?
So basically, when my Eve client is launching, when you launch your Eve client, it downloads certain files from an HTTP server that's run by CCP. So for whatever reason, my PC in particular, is refusing to connect to this HTTP server. Now, I've
So
logged.
you've disabled all of your
No,
firewalls, including
yeah.
Windows Defender,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, I've disabled
next
all of
one.
that stuff. Hold up. So basically, long story short, the only thing that CCP could think of was that it was a home networking issue, to which I then disproved by logging into the game 100% successfully and fine on my father's PC. And my brother's PC too, because I tried his PC too, and it works fine. It's just this machine. And so my
I know
parents
how to
looked
fix
into
this,
it.
Buffoon. I know how to
Do
fix
you?
this. Let me tell you. You ready?
Is it
Here
get
you
a
go.
new PC?
Have you tried turning it off and on?
Yes, I have.
No, you have to turn it off, wait 10 seconds, then turn it back on.
I
So
think
those-
I have. I think I've
those
rebooted
20
this
seconds.
PC. 20 seconds, I'll never get back. I've restarted this PC so many times over the past 2 days. It's not even funny. But I have tried
That
everything.
is interesting.
Yeah, my
this is
father
your
is
parents
perplexed by
trying
it.
to tell you
It
to
does
stop
sound like
playing
a-
so much Eve.
That definitely does sound like a network issue. Maybe there is.
Well-
Well, I'm not going to pretend to know about it, but still.
Yeah, that's basically what I am doing. My dad unlocked everything with the router and just kind of left our network completely open, and it still won't work. So I'm gonna re-image the machine over the weekend, and then keep out the whole router open and make sure it works. After
One
that,
of the first things you want to do is try pinging that server through the command line.
I
and
did.
seeing
So
if you
here's
can
the funny
push
thing.
DNS and
CCP
panel
I'm gonna
it.
go through.
all right. Last thing,
We're not
CCP.
doing tech support today.
CCP gave me the physical link to the HTTP server, to which I copy and pasted it into the browser, and it downloaded the file just fine. It's just when it tries to automate that process through the Eve launcher where the issue is coming through.
So again, did you try pinging it through the
Yep.
command line?
Yep, and it works fine there.
I think it's that bug zapper of a fucking microphone you're using
Have
that's
you
shorting
tried?
out.
Have you tried just uninstalling Eve?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, just give up, Mifune.
That's
Like
I'm just gonna give up.
it'd be better for you in the
Cracks-
long run anyway.
Cracks are forming, guys. Imperium members are leaving Eve. No, I'll
be
fix
fair,
it
that is
eventually.
somehow how you consider winning Eve, or consider that to win Eve is when you want to install it and don't play anymore. So, Mifune, do you want to win Eve?
Sure, why not? I'll win
No,
Eve.
I need you to stay here. Anyway. So, Dirk, have you had a good Christmas present? Anything of note? Do you normally anticipate?
I normally do one or two. Yeah, last year I did a couple. I gave away Dracovac that I set up myself. I like whenever I do Secret Santas and get people for this sort of stuff, I normally go looking through their kill boards a bit, see what they've been flying, check out what they're hinting at as well, and then do up like
So we're talking
a
about
couple of
in-game
custom fits.
gifts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Eve Secret Santa stuff. And so yeah, I'll do
Wow.
like a couple of custom fits, throw some nice mods on it, you know. Throw a couple billion ISK you know, just a couple of different ships. So I did like I did a couple of not bar guests, cruisers.
What have you gotten though?
You know,
Anything
I've gotten a few
special?
things. Like there was one point I got a couple skins for my Ragnarok, which were quite nice.
You got the Warlord.
Last, I bought the Warlord one for myself actually. I
Thanks,
really
Del.
like the Warlord one. It's basically my default skin. And yeah, I got a few. Oh my god, why can't I remember ship names tonight?
The capital, not capital faction.
No, it was the Angel Cruiser, the Cinnaball. Yes, I got like a few different fitted Cinnaballs. So like there was
Cinnabon.
there was an
You know,
armor
I was
version,
thinking-
there was a hull tank version, there was like an overprop version. They've been a lot of fun.
As much as we hate listening to Mifune talk about his computer, can you imagine how bad it would be if we had to walk Dawn through OBS every week?
What, you mean like we do before
That
Push to
would be
Talk
the
with
worst.
Eric?
Oh man, that would be bad.
You know what? No.
You mean like trying to
I'm
convince
saying.
Eric to move off of
Bad.
Skype? I mean,
I'm good
I
at
gave up on that a
following
long time
direct- I can follow directions with the best of them. You just have to be like.
You just have to be
Make it-
very, very specific.
Like,
Well,
Dawn,
don't,
are you,
like,
are you computer illiterate?
oh, actually, I'm not computer illiterate. It's more of like, you know, if someone tries to do something super, super technical, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Just tell me, like, what does it look like? A hamburger? Got it. Or, like, it looks like a giant.
That sounds more of
with
like
a gray
a patience
background.
issue.
So I
You know,
don't have
keep it-
any like in-game Secret Santa things because honestly, like the time that I have played this game, like I've played for like a couple months and then quit until I joined the Imperium, and now I've been playing for like 8 months straight. But we'll see what happens this year.
Very toxic, right, guys? Nuts. So sure, you've got nothing. Rain, have you gotten any good gifts or anything of note or anything special?
I actually have not participated in the Secret Santa yet. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'm
That'll be fun.
probably going to do it this year, and I have no idea what I want to put on the list of things I want.
Dots, have you gotten anything special or unique?
Apart from Secret Santas.
Yeah.
I already told you I got
Oh.
Nurgle last year, and
Oh, that's right,
Nurgles
the
are great.
Nurgle.
So
They took the computer stuff for 5 minutes. I forgot.
So Docs, you've lost that flying out from Kebbers on a Saturday night, right?
not on Saturday Night Swarm, but I did lose it around that area.
Chris, have you gotten any good Secret Santa gifts?
Two things. I think the one I got that was an in-game gift was a enforcer, which was fun because I have the police skin. It was kind of cool. I never really do it much with it other than like look at it because it's kind of just the enforcer is a fucked up ship. It's a nice ship. I like it, but it's not good at anything. So
I
it's
was gonna
kind of
say,
like
it's okay at everything, but not great.
it's hanger candy. It's hanger candy for the cost and everything. I would just look at it. I mean, like it was like I had a monitor, but I didn't. So I kind of like that. So it was a total hanger thing. The first Secret Santa that I ever did in it, I asked for a gag gift, and the guy got it for me. And so I said
You
I
an actual
wanted
gag, didn't he?
I wanted naked pictures of the Duchess of Cambridge, and then like a week after I asked for that, there was like a big leak of pictures of stuff of that, and he got them, and I was like, wow, that was a joke, but you did it anyway. So yeah, I got Kate Middleton pictures one year. That was fun. That was my
That's
favorite
hilarious.
Secret Santa gift.
I was saving mine for last because I think I was trying to see what everyone else had. I guess my two favorite gifts or packages, I guess. So usually in Imperium, whenever we have like the newbie gift, you always put like kind of like levels of gift options and ideas for people. And my newbie gift was write an erotic fan fiction for me, and then the other normal classic stuff above that. So one of my gifts was an erotic
I'm
fan
shocked.
fiction.
I'm shocked. I think we're all
Thanks, Greg.
shocked at that.
No, but it was funny. Like it was a Christmas one, so it was someone doing something with Santa's candy cane and like his jingle
Bruh.
bells.
Yikes.
Bruh.
Oh my god.
It was great.
Why do people indulge you?
Was it Dirk? Dirk, was that you?
I don't know.
Oh, it most certainly was not me.
Was it Ragnar? Yeah, I feel like this is something Ragnar would do.
No, it was just some random person I got for one of the Secret Santas. As I said, I did 3 the year prior and 4 last year. So I usually am involved in as many as possible because I had a blast. I just had lost the last Logi ship Apple Pear gave me for one of our Secret Santas. It was like super blinged out, scimitar. Piggles finally killed it. It's pretty sad actually because I'd saved that thing from like 8 different headshots. But the story was really funny. But I guess the biggest gift I've ever gotten was my first year in Imperium, 2017. I just asked for like normal, like maybe a capital or like a dread because I was skilling into a dread, things like that was like my big gift. I got a surprise of 3 Rorquals, 2 Dreadnoughts, and an Aeon. And I was like, well, I still have the Aeon and I'm still trying to get it killed in a
Actually,
fight.
I was
So,
there for that one. Yeah, I was super mad at you.
yeah, I was just like in shock. I was like, oh my god, I've never gotten anything like that again. I've gotten like an apostle after that, but it was just crazy. If
That
you
must
get
be
lucky
nice.
in Imperium, like there are some of the directors and stuff, or like the Zungan people, rich level, that like Jay gave one guy a Leviathan and like a couple other capitals one year, and he
Didn't someone give Nicosis a capital too?
I don't remember.
Well, when Incosis bought his levy, they put like a bunch of officer mods and shit on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he disappeared like almost a
And
month
then he
afterwards.
The
disappeared and
Secret
never
Santa
came back.
gift was like the golem and other shit like that, wasn't it?
No, it was a scavenger hunt that made no fucking sense
Yeah,
to
but
try and find this goddamn golem.
he's gone now because he left with his corp.
Wait, his
Is
Not
it?
corp left?
Incosis, the guy that gave him the golem and shit and
Oh,
the
okay.
scavenger hunt.
Oh, was he in dysfunctionals?
No, chemicals.
Oh,
I almost forgot chemicals like existed.
He says that as if there's much of a difference.
I was gonna say that's how
Well,
impactful it was.
there isn't much of a difference. They're both corpse. Let's just say that.
Yeah,
It's a pretty
Oh,
good
Brisk.
segue into what happened
I
with
know, right?
functional.
I don't think we're gonna go into all of it, But I do want to ask Brisk, how demoralized are you that that fort got flipped?
This is the thing. Like, I was laughing because Billy puts up this morale shit post about it, and
Was that not hilarious? He got shredded in that post.
Dude,
this is the thing, and I made a comment, and I want to reiterate it because it's just funny. It's like, I guess the Requiem Eternal thing really annoyed the shit out of them to the point that this group, like 2 of the directors of this group, decide they want to defect, and all of a sudden it's worth shit posting over. But here's the thing. First of all, the other thing I have to laugh about is I'm 100% positive that there are too many systems in Delve and in Quirius that matter, and actually in Fountain that matter, that start with Y, because everybody gets them confused. So YZ9 is NPC Delve, where the goons are, where the test staging was until they moved to T5Z. Y2 is the border system in Fountain that connects to ZXB, and then there's another YZ or either YZ or YL. There's another YZL that is NPC Fountain. That is our staging in Fountain. So the Y2 Fortizar that flipped was literally just a stop that we were using because it's closest to the gate, as we were moving non-essential shit out of 1DQ up to our NPC Fountain staging. And we've been doing that for 3 months now, since we went back to Fountain to take it back. So this was just a convenient place to drop shit as we were moving that stuff out to back to YZ and NPC Fountain. So the whole idea that them flipping all of that was in its staging in Fountain. No. Oh, we lost all our stuff. No.
Yeah, the asset safety of 0.05% or 0.5% is
thing,
really going to kill you guys, right?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I feel like they thought that they caught us somehow, that was somehow our staging. Like, no, we have said from the beginning, when we moved back to Fountain, I guess 2 months ago, and started running ops out of Fountain, when we took Fountain back after we lost it, we said we knew that all it was going to take was Ford or somebody deciding they wanted to come back and they could reglass the system, and we weren't really going to contest it because obviously we're fighting the war. So the whole point was we're going to stay in this NPC station in YZ, and that's it. So the whole idea that them flipping this was, Init lost all their resources. No, we didn't. You got your Wise mixed up. They didn't even flip it. Frankly, whether they sold it or whether they gave it to PL, who cares? The reality is, the thing is there. It doesn't matter. All of us who had stuff in there, asset safety, not a big deal. I had a Macarial that I hadn't been moving, just decided. I logged out and just said, I'll deal with this later, and then just never went back and got it. So my Macarial's an asset safety, but everything else, who cares? Everything else is going to get there. It'll be fine. So but it's just funny that was the most important thing that happened this week, that they had to, that Billy himself had to post on Reddit about it, because he doesn't post about much or anything. So I had to laugh when I saw it.
I can't believe that he posted. Like, I get why he posted it, but also, like, every bit of information about it was absolutely wrong about the whole situation. He knew nothing. He knew absolutely nothing about the situation. At least when Mittens helped Necro do his flipping, Mittens was physically and personally involved in, like, telling him how to do it and guiding him through the process. Where Villy's over there just what?
That was the best part. Like, the rumor was they're getting kicked for selling suspicious supers. No.
Buying super suspicious.
And all in it stuff was in there. No. And it's that we have a way to project power into Fountain.
You already did.
Got plenty of stuff if you want to project power into Fountain. I don't know why you'd want, because honestly, there's not a lot going on there other than us putting down a bunch of iHubs, but who cares?
Jump bridge.
And some jump bridges. Go ahead.
There was a lot of fake news in that post, and I should know. I used to work for NBC.
There you go. I was just very proud because it was one of those situations where I had to laugh because literally everything that was said was wrong. And that takes a lot of effort. I mean, I got to give him credit. It is rare. I mean, even Fountain Frank doesn't get that much stuff wrong because Frank's always right.
I was gonna say,
He's
he
never
doesn't he
wrong.
always tell the truth?
He's 100% dead on balls accurate.
100%.
But yeah, I had to laugh about that whole thing. But
Okay,
that was the only
Billy-
thing that happened this week. I mean, that's literally the only thing that happened this week.
Chris,
Okay,
Billy's asked if you can highlight anything
Billy,
that he said.
I
that was
already
We
did.
incorrect.
literally
I
went
literally
over
already
it.
did.
The trouble
Here,
is, if we
I-
highlight the entire post, nothing's gonna stand out.
It's gonna take a while. But
I
the
will
big
go
things
through.
is
I will
like,
go through it. I will go through it. First of all,
Well-
one, the group didn't leave Goons Forum. They were kicked. That's one. Two, they had fewer than 20 active people across multiple time zones. The guy admitted it.
PvP core.
That's not a lot of active PvPers. They weren't kicked for selling a sufficient number of supers. They were kicked because two of the directors were defecting. And it's not evacuating all our Delve assets. Everything, 99% of what I own is still in 1DQ. We weren't using the Y2 fort as a place where we were storing our assets. It was a literal midpoint between, like, for jumping shit to our NPC fountain staging. And that was just for excess stuff,
Now I gotta
like
pull this
warp
shit
walls and other random crap that was out there. And all we had to do, we didn't lose anything. We ended up getting all the stuff that was in there was either asset safety. Everybody was told, hey, don't undock your stuff. It's fine. The mad corporation, they weren't mad. It was just two dudes who were pussies and thought that they were going to lose and they wanted to get their stuff out. That's it. That's all it was. And then the comedy kill mails joke was funny because that 9-bill carrier, it made it sound like that was an init carrier. It was a Goons carrier. That day, the literal most expensive ship we lost in Y2 that day was like a 60 million ISK malediction. I'm not even kidding. Like, that's not even a joke. I think we lost a Corn, but it was only like 15 mil because it wasn't a Horde Corn.
What's
And
that, 30
then
mil?
we went and the same day refed the Pappy Fortizar, which they didn't even fight. And literally, NC was formed. They had the same numbers as we did, and they decided they didn't want to take the fight, and they left. So we went and refed it without it really being there, and that's it. And frankly, if Horde and the rest of these guys want to come back and kill everything that we have in Fountain, okay, everything that's there is completely expendable, just like last time, and we're living out of an NPC station. So good luck trying to kill us in there. That's it. Literally everything you said was wrong. Now I will say this: we took instead of finishing the armor timer tonight, we took the fight and had a good little brawl in Munins and Serbs and stuff, and the fort ref. So we're gonna have to go back and ref it again. But we had a good fight tonight. We had fun. Horde showed up and we traded, and I got some kills, and that made me happy because Thanksgiving I got to play Eve. That never happened, so I was happy. So that was that. So there you go.
Surprised the family didn't
Everything that
believe
was
it.
in the post was wrong.
Yeah, or let's just say not completely truthful or clear to what the actual situation was. Now, I have personal involvement and feelings on this one because obviously, like, one of the directors was a good friend of a lot of us, and
Not
all I'm gonna
anymore,
say,
fucker.
No, don't even hype her up like that. She was not that special
hold on, hey, hold on.
with her weirdly monotone voice.
I was just very hurt that instead of reaching out to me or Docs, who both of us have the most amount of contacts in the Imperium, I know in some way, shape, or form, almost every director in Imperium in some way, or know how to get to them, that we could have talked about what they were feeling, what they were worried about. I mean, there are ways that if a corp wants to leave Imperium for some reason on good terms, they can, and not have this shit show and get blacklisted and everything like that. So it's like, I was just hurt that, like, there was, like, after knowing you for 2 or 3 years, that they didn't reach out, because everyone that was involved, like, I've known both, like, all of them for a reasonable amount of time, and it was like, it was sad. It was a sad day because it's like, this is not really what I wanted to wake up to, you know?
Well, nobody wants to see corpse leaving. You know, nobody wants to see corpse kicked, especially when I felt bad for the players in dysfunctionals because for the most part they had no idea what was going on, and you could see that in the thread. Like a lot of these guys had no
almost
idea.
all of the regular corp members are already in different goon
It
corps
was
now.
like two.
Yeah, we're very good at picking up the
two
guys
directors that decided they wanted to go, and that was it. and they ended up screwing it up for everybody else. So shit happens. But
And yes,
no,
village
anybody
people know
look,
they
anybody
can
wants to
leave
leave.
safe
Anybody wants to leave, they can leave. Nobody's going to say they can't leave. We're not going to. We don't do that to our guys. But anyway, I just had to laugh because it was the type of. I mean, I'll be honest. I've not seen Villy have to do that level of shit posting before. But I guess after the Requiem thing, they needed to show that they have the way to get spies or a way to flip corpse too. So we got to play this up. So he posts. I thought it was.
I think that's exactly what it was.
That's exactly like if corps want to leave goons, then that's really no big deal. We get that we're not always the
People
best fit
come and go.
for various corps, or they want to try something new. It's all good. You go to Merkelchen or Clavas or one of the corporation management team, and you basically say, hey, look, we want to peace out. How do we organize this? How do we get things sorted? It's really no big deal.
And now here's what I would like to say to everyone in the chat. Stop being mean to Ron USMC. Okay? Stop being mean to Ron.
Didn't you have a whole
Ron and I talk all the time. And yes, I tease. I was a Navy guy. He's a Marine. We make jokes. There's an intra-service rivalry. His ass moves in Navy equipment. That's a standard thing. His ass rides in Navy equipment. We tease him all the time. He eats crayons. I bend over in the shower. What do you say? That's what we do. But the thing, Ron is not used to being a public figure like me, like Villy, like other people. And he and I talk a lot, and I have to laugh because he shows me all the nasty stuff that people say to him, and I show him all the nasty stuff people say to me, and it's one of these funny things. It's like, guys, if you are famous in Eve, it doesn't matter how nice you could be. Dink, you could be like the nicest guy on earth. There's somebody that's going to see you in the chat and see you flying around and say, "Go fuck yourself, Dunk, you stupid shithead with the salvage drones. Fuck off, your bees are gonna die." Somebody's gonna say that shit because that's just what they do. So I always tease them because, like, yes, everybody deals with this shit. You don't have to ban everyone in the chat that says nasty stuff because they're just gonna keep doing it. It's never gonna stop. So be nice to Ron. He's providing content for you guys. And it's fun. It's fun to go on his stream and to tease him a little bit and get him riled up. I like to do that. Just don't go too far. That is my happy Thanksgiving message to Ron tonight. So
Thanksgiving risk.
Since you mentioned the T2 salvage drones, do you think that would be enough of a buff for us to be satisfied with this drone aggression thing?
What?
I don't know.
Are you saying that drones won't auto salvage anymore?
No, I don't think that got changed.
No, if we get T2 salvage drones in the game, would that satisfy the balance that Brisk was not particularly impressed with earlier on?
It would make me feel better, just because, like, why are there no T2 salvage drones? Like, this is easy. Shorten the cycle time or increase the chance of getting blue salvage. Like,
Look,
easy, bam.
Guys,
do you realize for blue salvages,
Dunk has fought long and hard for T2 salvage drones.
I support him in that fight.
And we all should support him in that fight.
But we won't have any more wrecks to salvage because we won't be ratting as much because of the drone changes.
Speaking of Dunk, someone gave me like 870 corpses earlier, and there was a Dunk Dinkle corpse in there.
There you go.
That shit's worth money.
There you go. That's totally worth money.
There was also a Rain Chocolate corpse and some other interesting corpses.
Now, I will say, Anominate made a lot of money when the Hyperlink first came out, selling my corpses on the Hyperlink. He made like $1 billion. So I was pretty impressed with that. And I've thought about like just killing myself a bunch of times and taking the corpses and selling them, but I'm too lazy to do it. But anyway,
Yeah, you'd rather just like buy Plex and cash it out.
exactly. That's what I do. That's even easier. I just got to click a button, and all of a sudden my Plex appears.
I mean, it does. You could do that the same way with destructing your pod, but it just takes longer.
Well, yeah, but
Listen.
then you've got to be the one to scoop it, and that requires an alt, and then you've got to move the corpse and like fence it or whatever. Like
Effort.
yeah.
Look, wouldn't it just be like fantastic if you could take a corpse and just kind of like melt it in the minerals, like just grab some like titanium out of a capsule of your body?
Well, you wouldn't get that. You get a bunch of carbon.
You're not wrong.
Well, no, because they've got
How could
implants.
you biomass a character into any sort of meaningful amount of minerals to be used? Like how can you get one cubic meter out of titanium out of a human body, capsuleer or otherwise?
Well, no, like it doesn't have to be Trent. I meant that more as a joke, but like, what if there was a legitimate mechanic in like Keep Stars and other citadels where you bring corpses back, and the lore is that it's like a cremation. No, it's like cremation. It's like cremating the corpse.
No, what he's saying is he wants a Blood Raider Keep Star that's fueled by corpses.
Yes.
No,
that could
yes.
actually work. That could actually work.
I just want to point out. I just want to point out that this has existed in the lore a little bit. Like, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago that the CCP April Fool's thing was that they were going to introduce a deployable that would basically consume corpses and turn them into drugs.
MTU for corpses.
Well, now
we got that. We got that. Like the Moloch having a corpse bay is amazing because it's just funny.
But
all the joke stuff ends up in the game because the joke stuff is so funny that why wouldn't they just do it?
There's a lot of games like that.
That's why someday I am hoping that there will be capital MJDs because I brought it up and think it's funny enough that they'll give it to us.
No.
Could you imagine just being like, with a carrot?
Could you
How
imagine?
great would that be?
No. Could you imagine being in your Titan in a boson trap and just being like, okay, I'm an MJD out of these bubbles now. Goodbye.
Yeah. Well, it's not like we could do the boson trap anymore because the size of the models is too big. But still,
you could still do it.
We could do it.
I just don't know.
I don't know.
We could pull
it
it
off.
off.
You know what I think is that Pappy and them are going to be so overconfident in their capital sizes, and B, that the boson's not going to work correctly again, that they'll just keep jumping in the way that they are, and we'll just do it again to them. Listen, we're crazy enough. We will do it again.
Vass is like, boson trap works. Lol, nice joke. We got him to fix it. It was in the patch notes.
It was in the patch notes. I saw that. I saw that with my own eyes, and I was like, yes.
That was a lot of complaining from me and Merc and Nom. Got that done. That they fixed the bug. It only took like 2 months after we were done with it, but still.
It should work. I mean, it just should work. If our supers got caught like that, it should work.
Right, exactly. So nobody should be, if it's a bug, fix it. And that's that. So I'm happy. Now, the problem is that we're never going to be able to test it until the next time, and then we'll see what's broken that time.
So, Billy, if Billy is still here, hey, Billy, you want to whelp like an entire super fleet to test this thing out in 10% tie-dye, man?
Yeah.
I mean, for the good of the game, man. For the good of the game and the health of the game, do you want to whelp your entire super fleet?
We asked CCP if they would put 1 or 2 systems, like Move Me systems, on CC in 10% tie-dye just so we could test it. But they haven't done that yet. But we've asked for that.
I mean, can they even force a system to be in 10% tie-dye?
Sure, why not?
They can do whatever they want.
It's very easy. You just spawn a bunch of shit on a grid somewhere. Like, everyone knows how to create tie-dye.
Well,
it's just
if you guys saw, there was
to do so.
They had a discussion of how they test out stuff, and they have like this cube of death where it's like 1,000 Titans that they just drop, and then they run stuff through it to see how it handles stuff. They could easily just stick that in a system, and then boom, you got instant
but
10%.
as far as I know, the whole automated system of tie-dye is that it eventually does go down. So how are they going to keep that threshold at 10%? I wonder if they won't even have to put models in whatever system they make this in. Hell, make it.
It's just about the server load, Mifune.
Yeah.
So they drop a bunch of shit on a grid and
just keep it there
and start. Yeah, they just keep whacking the server with more shit. It's not a huge deal.
They can also like slim down the node to where it's like not running as as good as the other nodes would be.
At peak capacity.
Yeah.
Oh, side note, Brisk, you were talking about streamers and like public figures and stuff like that, and I remembered something and then forgot it. On Saturday, I got called the Karen of Eve.
Owned.
I don't get that.
No, see, look, I'm telling you, this is it. I mean, listen, I have seen people shitting on Mifune in local. I have seen people crapping on Dawn. Obviously, everybody craps on me. It's like a standard thing. People crap on Ron. If anybody that is Eve famous is in local, you get like 25% of people who will be nice and be like, "Oh, hey, cool, it's this guy's here. It's amazing." And then you've got 25% will just be like, "I don't want to hear you talk anymore." And then the other 50% typically are on the other side, and all they do is shitpost. It's just standard. You got to get used to it. So there you go. You have arrived.
It didn't make any sense.
You have arrived. It doesn't have to. It never makes sense.
Don, aren't you like a manager at Lowe's?
Famous.
No. Also, please don't say where I work.
Sorry.
You don't need people calling me trying to find out.
Doxed.
Also, Don, have you look at how real life celebrities are treated? Like, no matter who you are, no matter what you do, no matter what profession you have, whether you're a singer, dancer, musician, actor, actress, athlete, there's going to be somebody who hates you and everything that you stand for. That's just, some people do that. Some people exist to hate.
I don't mind
for
that.
whatever.
Like,
you just remember what the young folks say. Just remember what the young folks say. Haters gonna hate. All right, and that's just gonna sum up everything you need to know right there. All right.
Here's what I say. Here's what I say. You follow me around. You look at everything that I do. You bitch at me constantly, and you constantly bring me up all the time, every time. Bitch, you're a fan.
They want to. You live this way, like I'm living in your head, and I don't even pay rent.
See, that's it, Ron. They're all your fans, man. Even if they shit on you, they're your fans because they're paying attention. All you want is them to pay attention.
Either way, you have my name in your mouth right now. Like, just
listen,
say,
like it wasn't even.
What's yours?
I can.
Thank you, boo. Love you too.
As soon as I started to Twitch streaming with my food and stuff, like, obviously, you're gonna get out there. I'm downright in the Imperium. People either love me or hate me, and I know this for a fact because I've talked to a lot of them about it. I'm not worried about like people saying mean things. It's just, why Karen? I'm not. I specifically don't like talking to management because I get scared. I have anxiety talking to cashiers. I would never ever go in a store and be like, "Bitch, I need to see your manager." So that sounds like it doesn't.
I could kind of see
sense.
just off of your voice. I could kind of detect a little bit of Karen in your voice if I knew nothing about you.
So when I worked for the movie theater, I dealt with plenty of Karens. I have a lot of interesting stories of bitchy people.
Boss that she was a bitch.
Look, yeah, you're not wrong.
It'd be like that sometimes. Sometimes your boss is a bitch. What?
I can't wait for tomorrow morning because I have to be at work in like 7 hours. But
do you want to go to bed? Right?
I cannot wait for the people coming in. Like, why isn't my coupon working? Like I don't know, because you fucking can't stack it with other fucking like
with other
sales.
Coupons. So when I worked for Target, we would have people that would come in, and they would try to buy like 1 million things of like dish detergent or whatever, and they'd have like 50 coupons that are all buy one get one free, and it's like, no, you can't do that. And they're like, why can't I do that? I'm like, because look at the coupon. It says one coupon.
It says one per customer.
What? Yeah, per visit per day.
Hey, fuck that. Hey, y'all remember? I don't remember how long ago this was. There used to be a show. It used to be a fucking one of those reality shows where people that used to be a thing. You used to like.
It is still a thing, and I love watching it on YouTube.
on freaking
Extreme
DLC.
coupon.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go. Okay,
yes.
so maybe that's
Guilty
maybe that's
pleasure.
What's it called? What's it called? I'm gonna have to look this up.
Extreme
Extreme couponing.
Extreme
long story-
couponing. I'm gonna have to look that up.
There's like a way.
They
There's,
only
they
can
like they'll like game the
those
system with like
only
hundreds of coupons, and they'll find a way to get like multiple carts worth of like full ass carts full of goods for free because
they only
coupons.
shop
And it
at
won't be like
grocery stores
two.
that like allow like that many coupons, or like so like Mifune
Not
will
many
get this
stores do.
reference, but like you know Harris Teeter Mifune, like they do
Yeah,
like their super doubles and shit where like your coupons are doubled.
yeah.
Do you guys have coupons in Britain land over there?
Oh my god, what is that question? Jesus.
Bruh.
Just
Brittenland?
checking.
What?
Britain
There,
land.
do you guys have like food in Britain land
that's-
over
we-
there?
We
Do you
don't
guys
even
buy
know what the
anything?
concept of shoes are, Brisk. I don't know what you're talking about. This
Way to
food
show off.
thing.
The only thing I know about people that live
American stuff about geography.
the only thing I
Like-
know
Yeah,
about
it's
people in Britain is they all have Pembroke Welsh corgis and drink tea every
exactly.
day.
We
Dirk,
just
do you
drink
guys
black
have
soup.
bug
I don't know
zapper
what
like
you're talking
microphones
about.
like Mifune? Do you have bug zapper like microphones like Mifune?
I mean, I'm sure some people do if they're feeling obnoxious.
Oh, I'm trying to get a Blue Yeti,
I just
but
get scared. I don't
they're
want
out of
to.
stock.
Every time his face gets close to the mic, I'm scared it's going to zap him. Like,
It does look a lot
worries
like
me.
that, doesn't it? Like,
Oh God, no! He's gonna. Oh, it's gonna. Oh Jesus! You're gonna shock
Actually,
yourself.
not gonna lie, that mic
Mifune,
does
can
look
you
pretty
just
dope.
So,
lick
I
the
don't know how
microphone?
having a like.
No, because while heavily not drinking alcohol with friends the other night, I may or may not have completely deep throated the mic while on
Oh, God.
while on a Skype call with my friends as a thing, and they showed me the
Bruh.
recording the next morning, and I was like, oh God, no.
That's a big
I'm not
mic.
even mad. That's amazing.
Was this when you found out you didn't have a gag reflex or what?
I need
Oh,
I
I've
need a
always known that.
For a while.
we all need a
Bruh.
reenactment of
Hey,
that.
sure,
Steve,
may
sorry.
not be aware of this.
This is on Twitch. That's gonna be a no on the reenactment.
So
Versus, I'm
sure,
sorry.
you
This
may
is
not be aware of
turning it
this.
open comps tonight.
Oh, okay.
What about me?
Well,
What?
It's pretty bad.
So sure, you
I
may
heard my
not
name.
realize this, but like at least for the first few episodes, at least 3 people in comms was into each other, and it was pretty much just a flirting fest for like 6 episodes of DeClorian, Mifune,
That's
and Ragnar all
nasty.
like sniffing at each other.
That's weird, but
nasty.
also like kind of like
Is
wholesome
it
in a way.
surprising? Is it surprising?
No.
You've been in Theta. Is it surprising?
It
No,
does worry
That's
me.
why it like that's on one hand it's weird, but on the other hand, just like I don't know. I would find I honestly find that a little bit wholesome. Like, oh look at this shit. Oh,
I'm trying to. And it's been a week. Anything else happening?
I mean,
We talked about torpedoes. And we talked about the drone. We
We
talked
talked
about
about
Billy making an ass of
Carneros.
himself.
Did you hear about Carneros, Don?
No.
So he was gating a phoenix through NPC Delve for like 3 hours and nobody caught him. And then he brought it to the T5C gate and like he brought it to the T5C gate and like 200 bombers jumped through and I was just sitting back there just target painting shit.
Oh yeah, I gotta get. Okay, you're right, Greg. Gotta give a shout out to Mike Honcho. I don't know who owns that character, but Mike Honcho is committed to whelping a newbie frigate or a rookie ship into the E3OI gate camp 10 days running, and it's not like one. Like it's like a bot or something. It just keeps going and going and going and going. It just keeps coming back.
give a
over
shout
and
out. You
over
got to
and
give a
over
shout
again.
out.
it's a
You
guy
got to
on
give a shout out
autopilot.
to Dread. You got to give a shout out to what's his name? He was there last night. Dread Bomb Inbound, because I don't know if he's been doing this for as long as Mike Honcho's been doing it, but he was doing this last night, and everything just before he killed him, he would either have some random ass fact about Wales or New Zealand. Apparently, he tried to say that Ragnar wrote some sort of fan fiction in which Dawn caught him in the act with him and Greg, and it was just like in a few seconds to like a minute before you actually like could kill him. Yeah, that he every time in local he would say this shit. You could go ask Callie, you could go ask Greg, guess anyone who was in the gate.
I'm missing out on stories.
Yeah, apparently Ragnar wrote a fan fiction. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah,
You're gonna have to
Ragnar
get
wrote a
the
fan
real
fiction in which in which he was caught in the act with Greg by you.
Oh,
This is what
fantastic.
Dread Bomb Inbound was saying.
Why do you people
That's
do
amazing.
this to each other?
Because we've
I
gotten to
should-
know it,
and-
and that's why I was so hurt by a CAC. Like, we all have so much. This is why, like, we have so much fun in Theta sometimes. Obviously, like, there are days where like shit be wacky, but we all spend a lot of time together. We hang out with each other.
Be wackios, really, really, really.
You gonna learn today.
I'm
That was
scared
probably-
of Theta.
Why?
Wow.
I know why Dirk doesn't
Scared
like
of
Theta,
Theta.
'cause
You guys are scary.
You should never be.
Don't be scared
Scary.
of Theta.
Scary.
Honestly,
Theta.
honestly, I lived through the endless microdosing era of Theta. I'm good without now. Like those days when Regalin would just come in and
Oh, he
chat
got.
shit about that
Dex is
for
correct.
hours on end. Like,
I don't think he got banned from Theta, but he was asked to not come back.
Regalin was
Theta?
Regalin was regularly asked to just not, and would always forget. It was hilarious.
That there's
Speaking of
anybody
Theta.
who could be so bad that they're asked not to come back to Theta, that kind of just strains credulity.
It is more than you think, Brisk. Strangely enough,
Speaking of
I've
the Regalan days of Theta, did you know Zeke's back, Dirk?
I did. I'm actually pretty solid friends with Zeke. Zeke's been
come down and hang
floating
out.
around. Yeah, I'm glad to see that the guy's been back. He's been kind of buried with work for a long time, so to see him making some time for himself again is a really good thing.
We've had, surprisingly though, we've only had that I can think of 2 creep incidences in Theta.
Were you involved in both of them?
Yeah.
I'm
One of them was
shocked.
very. I did nothing. I can't, like, I'm just sitting there hanging out with everybody, and then like usually it's the really drunk guy that comes in, and he's just like, "Hey, how's it going?" And it's just so awkward.
There's girls in Theta.
They're
I
like,
heard there's girls
"Hey,
here.
Dawn, you up?" There you go.
Exactly.
what you doing?
I think the funniest one it was pretty early on joining Theta, was some guy came in. I don't even know who he was. Just some El Ultimo Hombre guy
Oh,
came
that
in.
guy.
Yeah, right. And there is recordings that you can still find on the forum of it where he comes in and he just starts like going off on everybody. He's like, "Listen, I'll eat your ass with a peanut butter sandwich." And he's like, "I'll fuck you guys up. I'm with the mafiosos and shit." And then like
I'll
he
eat
heard
your-
me
I'll eat your
talking because
ass.
I was laughing.
With a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, really?
Is it with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
I don't know.
I mean, was he trying to do like the whole Chris Rock tossing salad joke and he just fucked it up?
I
or
don't
what?
know. No, because he was talking about all the like just people in the chat, and he's like crazy, and so we started recording, and like I just like was laughing and talking like normal, and he's like, "Hey, baby, want to be my secretary?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "You can join me with the mafiosos," and I was like, "Oh my god!" After about 30
right
minutes,
there,
I
just on
left.
the sex secretary, that right there should have got a
Look,
ban. Like, really?
like I
I
said,
left after like 30 minutes. I was like, I can't take
you have to
anymore.
be a special kind of fucked up to get kicked out of Theta comps. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's pretty true. The last one, and then we went like 3.5 years with no problems, and then like 5 months ago, we had some drunk guy come in early in the morning for me, and like
Was he asking you to
He was
boycott
asking-
Burger King?
no, he was asking me like, "So, do you believe there's a difference between men and women, and why women are inferior?" And like was just going on, and like I'm trying to like get to the point of his questions because he's asking a lot of questions, and it's just like sitting there. Like Docs and I are both ready to kick him out of the room, but we're just like really curious where this is gonna go.
Didn't he ask you to like describe your femininity or some shit, or like what
Yeah, he
makes you?
did.
Yeah. Weird.
What you guys need to do when guys start acting like that is just
It's
have
rare.
them start providing tech support to Mifune for his computer. Hey, could you help this guy with his computer? And there you go. It's done.
I mean, it is honestly very rare that does come up, but And I'm sure every group out in Eve has had similar situations. That one guy that doesn't know how to talk to women, or is so drunk that they apparently now don't know how to talk to women. So we try to like give them the benefit of the doubt, but then at some point you just like are like, okay, time out for you, and you just put them in a channel. We actually moved him at one point. He didn't even realize it was hilarious.
That's the
So-
best part. when you're that drunk.
Gamers that don't know how to talk to women. Who'd have
I
thought?
know, shocker.
Yeah, who never heard of that before?
All right, so I'm gonna circle back to a question we got in Twitch chat that
Oh, did we get a question?
maybe a trolling thing, but it's Beastmaster saying that he's a high-sec Care Bear thinking of looking for a null corp to join, but how can he move all his stuff through high-sec and null-sec safely?
You should
And
join
ITL.
board.
honestly, dude, you
That's
just
the
don't.
best.
You sell your shit in high-sec, and then you buy it all when you get there.
And
Really,
yes, to answer your
that's
question, is
that
Tesla
is how it
now part of the
goes.
Imperium? Yes, we call it the Imperial Legacy. That we're all
Oh
on the same
God.
side.
Oh
That's
God,
absolutely-
no.
They're just
no.
they're confused.
We're drawing Horde in. This is an elaborate.
He's,
this is an
he's a
elaborate
little
like, bear trap.
confused. He's a little confused, but he's got the spirit.
Listen, Tess got hit in the head. They're a little confused about at some point they'll come back to their senses of like, oh shit, we really should not have done this. I'm so sorry, Daddy Imperium. What should we do? Like, it's gonna happen, guys. But
Imperial
for
Legacy.
no troll, honestly,
it.
I've done it too. Okay, so when I moved from high sec to Goonstorm, I never did the low sec thing, straight from high sec to null sec. I just put all my ships in places I wanted them to. I got a nightmare out in Langisi, and I've got like a couple other ratting ships over in my old place of like Nakatree or whatever. Just left it all there and moved down, and I just
You're
kept
just
it there.
making up these names, aren't you? Those aren't real.
No,
actual
Langisi
systems,
is
are
a
they?
five. No. Langisi.
Langisi does exist.
It's a 5. It's a 0.5 system and a huge mission running hub. So, and then Nakatree was the system I was in a Mars space.
Is
I
it
miss it there. It was
sad?
nice.
Is it sad that last month when I created my first Orca high sec mining alt, that was the first time I ever really played in high sec. When I started Eve, I did not start in high sec.
How have you never done at least a burn Jita, Mifune? Like,
Yeah, have you
Well,
never
I've done like
anything or anything?
I did the last burn Jita that we had, but that's about it. Like, I never ran missions, I never mined in high sec. I never really like had that high sec experience because
that was the first half of Eve life.
yeah, because when I started Eve, I started with my dad, and my dad was in Provi block at the time. So I just kind of went straight from high sec on my first day in Eve, and just flew straight down to Provi block from a Mars space. So
Your father is a bad influence on you. Then that was not good.
I feel like everyone.
pushing you into Provi block, I feel is just kind of unconscionable.
That's kind of child abuse. I'm pretty sure.
Look,
I feel like everybody should do the high sec stuff.
My dad quit the game with Blackout, and I have been trying to convince him to come back for over a year now, and he still won't budge.
Yeah, he won.
You know what? That's a fair reaction.
That's perfectly fair. I'm not going to give him a hard time for that.
I'm trying so hard. He's got like 2 supers that he can add to our massive force, and a couple.
But if they're in Provi, he's not.
No, they're not in Provi. He was.
He's gonna get murked by like honorable third party or something.
He needs to give you those supers, otherwise that's goon fucking.
See, we started in Provi, but we moved on to Lon. Like, he's in Lon right now. His characters are sitting in Iridia with all of his stuff in 1DQ, and I'm like, just trade them to me. And he goes, are you going to pay me for them? And I'm like, no, I'm not.
Dude, pay the guy for his stuff. He put in the time, he earned that. He wants that stuff, you pay it.
He wants 35 billion for his super, and I'm like, Dad, they don't cost that much anymore.
That's a horde price super, not a.
That's what I said. I said
goon price super.
I said, you want a super? I could pay 15 billion and get a fully fitted hell. Like,
that's like 50 cormorants, right?
Yeah, that's like half a
No, it's like 10p horde cormorants.
Just like mow the backyard for him, and do some chores around the house. And there you go.
But
I also got a hammer. Like, should have sold all the trash loot? Nah, just make a G-troll.
And
You've got 3 character slots, make a G-Troll, contract it all over, and sell it on the G-Troll. It'll be fine.
to answer Ron's question, my dad was already in test. My dad was in test in, I believe, 2011, 2012 was when he was in test. And then he went to AAA.
Sorry, so you have proven
So-
beyond a reasonable doubt that your father has questionable judgment.
I mean,
my father likes to
Test
hop
and
around.
Bobby,
My father gets bored. My dad gets bored of Eve. Like, my dad will go mining for less than a half hour and say, all right, I'm bored. I want to go do something else.
that's
yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that. I agree with him
Listen-
100% in that regard.
I just
Really,
want to
You
ask,
can't, you
has a
can't live in a
Chud-
house to fight.
Night.
Okay.
You can't live in a house divided. You can't if you're at least not need because like now the temptation to like sit and stare at each other's computers to like get that intel is just too much.
So I just want to ask Hazitude, like, what possible thought process he would have gone through
That-
to arrive at, if he bought Mifune's dad's account, would that make him Mifune's dad, and still think that that is a positive thing to do? Like, Hazitude, if you become Mifune's dad, you've got to deal with his tech support issues, and they are extensive.
Yeah, you got to buy him a computer.
Listen, that's Greg. So Greg already
Oh, shit,
wants
we
to
lost
be Mifune's daddy.
Greg, my piece, my whole rig is just about $4,000. So good luck replacing that with new hardware.
Hazitude says he'll take responsibility. Hazitude's gonna step up, man.
Whoa, $5,000 in my pocket to buy a new PC? Thanks.
Listen, if you got to spend that much money to be able to run things, we got to talk here because I could run
Well,
it at
mine was
half the price.
more than that.
Most of it
that's-
is
that's
the
user-proofing.
accessories. Most of it is like the $1,500 monitors and the $200 keyboard and the $80 headphones. Most of it's the accessories. They actually
Wait, all right, hold on a second. All right.
$1,000
That is
monitor?
bullshit. You
No,
are not allowed to include peripherals in the cost of your rig. The
Let me say
rig
this.
is the rig. It's the box. That's it. That's what it
All right,
costs.
well, the
all the other
box
stuff is outside.
the box is about $1,600 total with
Yeah,
all
that's
parts
future
included.
proofing.
See, mine was $7,000.
That's
2 years
definitely
ago.
future proofing. He ain't gonna need to upgrade
Look,
shit until like
Look,
2045.
Brisk, I don't want to hear you bragging about the 3080, okay? Because I already want it so
3090,
bad.
Thank you. Suck it.
3090.
Brisk went high end with that shit. Like, Brisk's a baller. Brisk ain't.
I'm
Yeah.
I spend money on my hobby.
I'm-
You
'cause
didn't
God
build
knows
it
would be
yourself,
worse if I
though.
did.
I'm
Fuck that.
poor.
Why would I do that?
I
I don't do things
saved
that I can pay other people to do.
I saved 8 paychecks just to buy this thing. All right, I'm poor.
You got to work on that.
You save 8 paychecks to buy a rig, and you talking about getting a Warhammer 40K, bro. You would not even be able to afford comment.
All of Brisk's computers are brought to you by digitalstorm.com.
Product placement.
Great website.
Someone keep an eye on when a good microphone is available because the Yetis were sold out. Can't get one of those, and I don't know what to look for in a microphone.
What you need to
one of
get, here's what you got to do. You got to stop being one of these USB people. Get an actual mic with an XLR, like a real microphone connection.
Well, link
Get
one.
yourself.
But then you've
Get
got to
yourself a-
amp it and DAC it and just like
Get a task.
that's an investment.
and get a Blue Spark, and you're good to go.
So the thing is like I don't know the good stuff, so I'm just like, just link me options. I'll go look. Okay, Ron, I will look at Ron. Whatever you've written out, I will look at that because I'm prepared. I'm fine spending $100 to $200 on a microphone. I feel like that's a reasonable price range to deal with.
Also, it is Black Friday.
No, but Cyber Monday is the day I'm really looking
Exactly.
forward to because I ain't going to no store to pick this shit up.
That's what I mean. I meant by that too.
But yeah, you also gotta just make sure, Dawn, that when you're putting everything together, you gotta make sure you don't miss anything. Like making sure you've got an actual arm for it. Rather
Yeah,
than
that's the
just,
other thing is I wanted to
yeah.
package with it is a stand or something because I'll use it. What's the best part is as soon as I get a new mic, I can use this one for a spy character because my voice sounds different on every sort of item I use. And all you gotta
Dawn,
do is
you're
tweet,
a girl.
"Oh,
Everybody is going to know it's you.
Really though.
no.
Don, you're
There's no way for
space
you to
famous.
spy. It's not possible.
First of
You're-
all, you're a female.
my
Second
God.
of all, you're Dawn. Like, you have a very Dawn voice. It'd be
You're-
like if
you're-
I tried to be a spy.
Can I
Don.
sit in your type
All right.
so big?
The other thing I would suggest is talk to Life Shifter. You are a host on Imperium News. We have a blue sponsorship. He should be able to get you something.
There's no things available. It's in stock sold out.
Their-
Wait,
their
Well, then you have to
warehouses
wait.
are-
Then you have to wait for them to put it together. Just like unless you want to get something, I mean, if you want it for free through our sponsors, then you might have to wait. But want to pay for it, you can pay for it.
Speaking of free, Brisk, I meant to ask you if you have any update on that on the new CCP partnership program and how that affects
I thought you
and how that
So-
affects all of us at INN.
My understanding, and this is what I have when I talk to Dopamine and the guys about it. They're doing it all by hand, and they're doing everybody on a case by case basis. So I would say if you have, you can look at the show. You're a host on this show. You do the show every week, and you think you hit the numbers, then go ahead and apply. And the worst they could tell you is no.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, especially as the INN umbrella, we're definitely it's being looked at on a number of levels by a couple of different people. I know Life Shifter's been looking at it just generally in terms of the streaming.
Right, because I wasn't sure if I had to apply individually or wait for.
No, apply individually. I mean, there's no reason not to apply individually. I
Gotcha.
applied.
Yeah, the worst they say is no.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. The worst they'll say is no. I applied for it under my YouTube as well as on obviously a Meta show and Open Comms and the podcast that we do. And between all of those, I should hit something. I am a content creator.
It had to be
Let's
about
see.
3 months worth of consistent content, and Mifune and I, pending the 1 week we were both on vacation, and then the 1 week where he was like gone and I was tired.
Again, they're doing it all by hand. Like they're
not being
checking
done by hand.
out everything on a case by case, as Brisk said. We've looked at it in terms of whether or not it's one application for the entire INN org, and we've at least managed to narrow it down to it's at least 2 different applications based on the streaming stuff, and then editorial written content on the other side at Imperium.news. But yeah, it's just trying to figure things out, because realistically, that program isn't built for organizations of our scale.
Yeah, it's meant for individuals, not as.
We have a huge stable of talent, and we're really lucky to have been in a position to build up to this. But yeah, it definitely means that when they do things like community partnership programs where you're talking about 1 or 2 guys running a YouTube channel, or a solo guy blogging once a week, once every fortnight or so, compared to us trying to put articles out every day or every couple of days, and the number of streams and shows that we have on it INN as well. It's just figuring out the mechanics and the logistics, and putting applications
We've never talked
in
about it officially, but
well, it's just started.
adding to the
Like
support
literally,
It's brand new. It just started, so they're still trying to figure stuff out. So don't stress out too much about it. But just if you think you qualify, put your stuff in and let them tell you one way or the other. The worst they can say, like I said, is no.
Is no, yeah.
I mean, the least they could do is ban your character for some reason.
They're not going to ban your characters for you applying for a community program, Dawn. Be realistic, at least. Jesus Christ.
You have to sell a Moloch or something before they do that.
So apparently, I want to address some things in Twitch chat. First of all, Ron, you have that one mic. I forget the name of it because I'm stupid. But that mic you have, I looked into that mic and I could not realize that that's the mic you use. It sounds so different than the sound tests that I listened to when I was researching. I just thought that was cool. The other thing is that somebody's asking, are goons recruiting? I need a new home.
Conflict is recruiting.
Karma Fleet is recruiting. AMOC is recruiting. When is AMOC not recruiting?
Don't go to AMOC.
ASCII is always
just
recruiting.
Karma Fleet is recruiting.
No. Sundering is recruiting.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Sundering
Don't apply to Sundering. They'll rip you off.
And then
He's supposed to be kicked. They're very wonderful people. But my god.
Yeah, it's like trying to insult the corp that's got the second highest participation.
Look, we have participation because we have dogs who never sleeps.
None of the current Sundering recruiters have any fucking idea how to scam. It's depressing, so you're probably fine.
They are good, free and clear.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen, Docs.
I mean, the scammers aren't still there.
So Docs, when are you joining Karma Fleet?
There you go. Karma Fleet's recruiting.
If he moves anywhere, he's gonna come to Goon Waffle with me.
I'm a proud member of Karma Fleet.
Yes.
I don't think I could ever get into Karma Fleet. It's such a mixed review over there for me.
Yeah, a lot of people in that corporation hate me, so.
Not work out.
It's not just
you started off.
I started out in Karma Fleet, and that's where most of the hate came from. Little 13-year-old Mifune in Karma Fleet comes.
Well, I mean,
can you blame us though? Really?
See, I can't blame
not
that.
Really, young people safe. It's one of those weird things.
You just
they're not old people safe.
Mature at an advanced state. You
have to see the potential. You got to look past the now.
He was a boy, but after those times, he became a man.
Mifune, you got to come hang out on Saturday Night's Forum or something more.
I do, honestly. So here's the thing, is that at Wendy's, surprisingly, at Wendy's, my boss constantly schedules me Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thursday during the lunch shift, Friday during the lunch shift, and then I go home, and then I come back Friday night to close, and then I close down the Wendy's Saturday and Sunday. And
well, yeah, but like
that
Saturday Night
shift,
Swarm isn't till what, like 10 p.m.
You do realize that my building closes at 1 a.m. I get home at 2 a.m. And I go into work at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon when I close.
Need a new job, dude.
No,
listen,
I just need to
not do Saturday Night's Forum. At that point, you come home from Wendy's, you get changed, you get rid, you take a shower so you don't have the fryer smell on yourself anymore. I'm guaranteeing you that Nom Nom will still be talking about something related to computers at that point.
Look, don't
you
get
might actually learn something.
I've never been on a Saturday Night Swarm because I view it as the safe place that who does not want to talk to me or listen to me have a place to go every week that they can just chill with whoever they want. So
we just end up listening to Nom Noms and Riddick. Like, I mean, I love those guys, but my god, they just rile each other up.
Busted my balls so hard for skipping 1 week of the meta show out of 8 months of doing every Saturday. We took 1 week off, and he has not let me live that down.
You're not allowed holidays. Did you not read that in the contract?
The election week, I was tired. I was like,
there was a clause in the contract. Thou shalt not miss a week.
That was it.
So
you can't take holiday, mate.
Brisk, you're like Amazon employees. You don't get a break.
Speaking of Merc, I actually called Merc Sweetie because that's my default for people. I felt so bad.
From Baltimore?
I was like, Sweetie, we'll get there. And he's like, oh, Sweetie now?
I mean, to be fair, like, why are you worried about that?
Oh, I just found it funny because his reaction was just like, what?
Yeah, that one's actually my fault, Brisk, by the way.
Could be fair.
Yeah.
To be fair.
There you go.
Well, I think we're at the end. Even though I'm having a great time, I don't want to keep everybody from their family. I'm actually surprised I think we had about 130 people watching us. Y'all should be with your families. Shame on you. But
I think they're pretty sure that the reason why they're here is because they don't want to be with their families.
Why would anybody want?
or have
Like,
their
Look,
family to be
I
with.
have no family here. All I've got is my brother and my parents. The rest of my family
That's
are anti-maskers, and my aunt just got tested positive like a week ago. So
Oh, well, shit.
Right. Okay.
So my
I just
cousin-
want to point out anybody who wants to spend an entire day with their family is just weird.
No, they're blessed.
Like you. I mean,
No,
sure,
they're
a
blessed.
couple of
They
hours at a
actually have-
time.
They
but
actually have a healthy,
Christ.
stable, supportive, loving, caring family. That's why I said they're
Those
not weird.
don't
They're blessed.
exist, Shura.
my family and I get on very well when we're not in the same room for
That I will believe.
hours on end.
That I would
you
totally.
know, like you just gotta have your own space to do your own things sometimes, man. And an entire day in the same room, I don't know what, playing random ass fucking board games or whatever.
Well-
like, no, thank you.
Why you gotta
I don't-
rag
I
on
don't
me,
know.
yo? Why you gotta rag
I-
on me? Literally had lunch and then played board games this afternoon.
Because it was
Nerd.
easy, Dawn.
Okay,
Nerd.
I can
I
understand.
watched
that.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail with my 10-year-old last night. That was kind of cool.
Well, that's cute.
First
So,
time
That
watching
is a
Monty Python.
fantastic film. You've got to love some Monty Python.
See, when he's 12, then you got to show him Spaceballs and Mel Brooks.
Yeah, we got to get to the Spaceballs. A little bit older, and I'll be ready for Spaceballs.
See, I saw Spaceballs at 12. I didn't
He's seen a
understand
lot
half of
stuff
it.
early because he's my kid, and I don't have a problem letting him see random stuff. So he's seen a lot of stuff. Like he plays Call of Duty all the time. He plays a lot of
what
games that are
10-year-old
like
doesn't?
MA, but it's fun. He likes.
I mean, that ain't
yeah.
nothing. Like, who actually pays attention to the ESRB when they're buying games for their kids?
I know, right?
The only thing really is just to like basically be all, hey, so this is a fake thing. So don't go trying to be that guy because you saw it somewhere on a video game or whatever. Because some people do, and that's just weird.
I have literally never.
You
I'm not
know,
gonna say
like-
I'm not gonna say it doesn't happen, but I've never heard of somebody, for example, playing GTA and then trying to kill someone, wait till the police show up, kill a cop, kill their car, joyride. It, like,
Yeah, okay, that is definitely that is definitely not where we're going with that one. But
I'm not
you know,
gonna say that people do not, that young impressionable minds do not see
just
what
about-
they don't play a video game and then go try to do that in real life. But it's like, come on now, like how, what, why, or maybe I'm just
it's just about making sure that like
children's stupidity. I don't know. I couldn't see doing that.
it's just about making sure they know what's what, you know.
Well, I'm glad that we've provided a place, as one person pointed out, is a place to get away from the family. Because I know that I can only stand my family for oh so long as well. Because my mom's always asking, when am I going to get married and produce her a grandchild? I'm like, you already have 3 grandkids. It's not my responsibility, but
Well, when
keeps
are you?
bothering me about that.
Don't you know, Dawn,
When
that
she
you
has
can't.
grandchildren, she wants a grandbaby.
When are you getting married, Dawn? Tell us.
Dawn. Yeah, Dawn.
I don't
Honestly,
have a
Dawn, you
special
can't be
role.
respectable until you married, don't you know? We're all about
Exactly,
traditional gender roles here.
I am worthless until I'm married. So
I
You've
didn't
got to
say
get that dowry
You-
going.
Hey, you're running out of time. The clock's ticking.
Like,
Those
you're
eggs
gonna
are
have
done.
those 5 cows coming down the road in exchange
know,
for your marriageable person.
you're gonna have to ask
Those
Docs
eggs
about
don't
all
live
that.
forever.
You can buy kids, like, they might be a little damaged, but you can buy one.
kids.
Okay, so not all
Wow.
of you.
You're just gonna
notice-
buy
no,
a
Dirt,
child. What is
Hold
this?
on.
No, hold the fuck
Hold
up.
on.
It might be a little
Dirt, you've
damaged.
not gone through
Right.
this. You
How
have not
much
been
for
there
the
through
women?
saga.
How much for your
You
little
haven't been
girl,
through
your
the
wife? I
saga,
want to buy a
but-
woman.
In Theta's had to listen through the saga throughout this entire year, but my parents at 50s and 60s adopted a 15-year-old kid last December. And so I've had to learn to like deal with a new brother that I didn't necessarily want to have. And, basically adoption is buying somebody legally. So, or they just give it to you for free, like with a coupon.
I will
So-
pay £5 for that child. No,
How
I
much
will
for your
pay
women?
15
How much
Swedish
for your women?
krona for that child.
I
How
never
much for your
wanted.
little girl?
Adoption is a beautiful option. I think everybody, if that is your calling, do it. But Theta has had to hear about a lot of the stories of like shit that like you know got to deal with it. Like I don't even live at the house, and somehow I'm dealing with some of the shit. It's
I
crazy.
mean, Jesus, Ex
So
Nightmare here is just like offering 5 million ISK for a child, you know?
You wanna
Wait, I
make us
went to get coffee. I come back and we're buying children. What the fuck's going on?
According to Dawn, we can buy children now.
Is that
Oh, are we
routine?
talking about? Are we talking about her brother? Is this what's going on? Or?
No, we're talking about her buying children. She specifically said the words, you can buy children.
Yeah, she literally said that. She said they might be a little damaged, but you can buy them. So I was like, wow.
So could you get one for like a Plex sale?
It's they're gonna turn up in like a UPS box that's been
this
No,
is
kicked a
gonna go
little
down a
bit.
dark road.
It's not
real
that.
quick.
It's Wayfair.
it's
It's the
gonna be Amazon.
Wayfair cabinets.
Oh god, the Wayfair cabinets. No. No, please.
Pretty sure with everything else they sell, it's gonna be
No.
just a matter of time before you can buy kids off of Amazon. I said it.
No, did you
Click
hold
and
on.
collect a children delivery.
I hope everyone heard about the Wayfair children conspiracy theory thing. Cuz
I did not.
It's one hell of a thing. So basically on Wayfair, right? Wayfair is like, I wouldn't say it's a rip-off site, but anyway, they have
It's
like
not that.
so they have no. So they have like cabinets, like industrial sized cabinets that you can buy that are like $17,000, right?
Okay,
And
you're getting it wrong.
no, because
So
it was
what
listed for
is-
17,000.
They had normal cabinets that were like almost identical to like their other cabinets that were reasonably priced, and they priced them up to like multiple thousands of dollars when they went out of stock to cover up the fact they're out of stock. But it happened that these cabinets have the names of like apparently missing children, so people looked at it and they were like, oh, they must be so expensive because they are the child. But it turns out they were just like coincidentally named and priced up because they're out of stock to prevent you from ordering it and seeing that it's out of stock.
Wow. I'm glad you knew that. I didn't know anything about that actually.
No, but
Well,
it was
that
like
was a hell of a tangent.
there was like a hellstorm of a Reddit thread of people just like chaining all these cabinets together, finding who the missing kids were.
Oh, do we
If
really
you
have to
if you
discuss
give
like
someone if you give
that
someone any
dumpster
name,
fire of a site?
like you find any name, you will find like a case that has that name involved. It means absolutely nothing.
See, Dawn, and you wonder why I stay off of Reddit. Or still, yeah.
Listen, I am a sucker for drama. I
Reddit
love
is a
having
hell site
things.
and it shouldn't
Yeah,
exist
as I said a couple hours ago, if I wanted toxicity in my life, I would be back with my narcissistic ex right now.
You sure think about that a lot.
So do we
He's-
gotta?
He's traumatized, Docs. You can't go at him like that. Jesus. God, man.
Okay, so
So we got final thoughts
Well-
coming up.
let's do that. Only like yes, we could go for 3 hours, but I have things that I would like to do tonight, and
Dawn has better
Yeah.
things to do than be here entertaining you.
On my own
you
show.
fucking
No.
nerd.
That's also,
We've-
like,
I've
that's
been
also-
entertaining
I got
for 2
PUBG dailies
hours.
to do.
I don't
That's
want
also
to
not
keep
the
you
first
guys
time she
either. I
said
know
that.
it's late for you. You know, Brisk is here instead of hanging with his family. Dirk, you're here instead of sleeping. Dox is here.
My wife's already in
I
bed.
told him
She's
to be.
tired.
Oh.
It's okay.
So let's
already know-
let's
you already
do
know I like to
our. Yeah, I know. So we'll do our final thoughts. You
I
know,
love
I
how
feel like
you
we had a
like
great time
blatantly
today.
stole that from Push to Talk.
What? What final
No.
thoughts? I mean, we usually do something at the end. Which is actually no. Half of our shows are like an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30. Like, oh shit, gotta go, guys, bye, because we run off to go to some fleet or something like that. Because like
Yeah, because
unlike
then we get
maybe
rage
other
things.
shows, Yeah, I was gonna, unlike maybe other shows, but there's always something going on a Thursday night, and B, we're involved in everything going on, unlike shows that happen to be on, Tuesday or Sunday, things like that. So,
Which shows are on Sunday?
talking stations.
Those for people who don't want to go to church.
I was talking on stations on Sundays.
That's when
now.
they're
I lost
their
track.
weekend show. Their big show, their
Most
2-hour
of
shows on Sundays.
the what was considered the flagship show that nobody watches anymore for some reason.
Is it
Makes
because they
me
moved
sad.
it to a Sunday?
Well, no, it's because it was always on Sunday, and it was always like the most watched show of the week, and then they just started doing these things during the week constantly, and that was it. Now they
Well,
get 200.
instead of saving news for the week,
It makes me
they kind of do it every day almost, which it's fine. Like
it makes me sick.
as I said, the hardest part is when Pappy does things Thursday or Friday night. I got a whole week to wait to try and talk about it. And by then, it's old hat.
But that's the thing. We do Meta Show every Saturday, and so what if it's old hat? If you do it in an entertaining way, people are going to show up and they're going to watch it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be first to get viewers. You got to be fun.
I'm surprised at having about 130 people on and off on a major holiday in USTZ in the middle of the week. So I'm pretty happy about that. I think we're the highest rated Eve show on Thursdays. And there is another show that directly competes with us.
It's you and Lasers and Lace, and that's about it. So there you go.
Let me have my
Beastmaster,
moment.
yes. All of the null groups have stagings that have stuff that you can buy stuff in. That's where you get your stuff.
Not Pappy though. They don't. I hear that they struggle enough just to refill their own contract. So if you don't want to have things easy.
Never mind struggling to refill contracts, I'm struggling to shift all of the stuff I've got.
Detail. All right, Brisk. Final thought for till I guess tomorrow night for you. I guess.
Final thoughts. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. I think for this year, for those of us who had Thanksgiving today, we should all be thankful that we are alive, because this year that was not assumed. And I'll see you guys on Open Comps tomorrow and Meta Show on Saturday.
Okay, Dirk.
I don't fucking know. I guess another shout out to the EVNT crew for running the Alliance Opens over the last few months, and the awesome show that they managed to put on the last couple of weekends. I very much look forward to the next time. And in the meanwhile, I'm going to continue bullying Soul about the Anger Games rebirth.
Good. Docs, any final comments? You can plug your guns now.
I was about to say, I think T2 anti-cap auto cannons are very important, and if you need any, you should check our spot.
Rain? Hanging out down there.
Yeah. Well, this is my first Theta Thursday to be on. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
You think? Okay.
I also am a health care worker, so be safe out there, everybody. Treat your family well, and if you weren't with your family this Thanksgiving, don't worry about it. Like, tell them you love them. Anyways, I'm going hunting this weekend, and it's gonna be fun.
Sure, Mr. Birthday Boy. Any final comments or anything?
Yeah, I actually fucked up. First of all, sure, can I look at calendars? My birthday is next Friday because lockdown because it gets dark at 5 p.m. No, that was my bad. That was my bad. I didn't even think to correct you until you were like, you're like, oh, we have a birthday boy here now. Who's the birthday boy? Oh shit. Oops. Yeah, my birthday is December 4th. That was my bad. I can't read calendars anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway,
liar! You turned her against me. You brought him here to kill me.
Yeah, again, happy Thanksgiving. As a as a military vet, I also say keep in mind the people who could not celebrate Thanksgivings with their families because
they deployed.
And then, Mifune, you got anything you want to shout out?
Just happy Thanksgiving, pretty much like everybody else. I hope to get Eve to be fixed by Sunday. God willing, I fix my Eve client, and then we can actually start rolling on this war. Other things is have fun, because these next couple weeks and with Christmas and a lot of us are done with our college semesters. Thank God. So that we get a huge break and I get to play Eve all day, every day for like the next month and a half, which is fantastic. And then, yeah, just everyone have a fantastic night and enjoy the time with your family.
And then my final words is I want to thank Pappy for giving me so much fun yesterday. Y'all were mostly good sports, and I really had a good time popping FCs and making their nights awful. And adoption is always the loving option. So other than that, I think we're out.
Yep. All right. Everyone enjoy your night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.